I trip, I go to the hole with the rock like Pippin. Yeah. I'm okay.
What up, and welcome to Woodward Heavyweights Live on Woodsports.com. I'm your boy Eazy, joined by guys from Raxter, yo, Chris, Nicholas Kohloff, a.k.a. Detroit Mario. Let's go, Red Wings! How'd you do it? Sorry if you had headphones in. That was...
Playoffs?
That was kind of wild. How'd you say the Red Wings won?
Let's go, Red Wings.
Red Wings back. Yeah, that's it. Shout out.
Red Wings, hey, big game tonight.
Big game tonight.
Need
a point.
Yes. They need all the points they can get up until the captain comes back. Shout out Dylan Larkin. Heal up soon. Speaking of Detroit Red Wings, and I don't know if I put this in Slack. I don't think I did. But if you follow myself on X, if you follow Spencer on X, if you follow Darren McCarty on X, there was what? The Buffs?
Yeah.
You like that?
Yeah. Where'd you go?
This was almost
I thought it was
yours.
like a ketchup stain or something.
No.
It's a lion with some buffs on?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's almost yours. It should be yours.
It's mine?
No. I was gonna give it to you. You know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Either way, if you follow Darren McCarty,
stole it.
Somebody he came to my house.
I don't remember buying that.
If you follow Darren McCarty on X, they were talking about the physicality of the sport with I think Heat Daddy was the other person's name.
Who's a good follow?
And some other, I don't even fucking know this guy's name, to be honest with you. Went on there and you know what? Fuck this. I'm gonna find the exact tweet. I'm gonna read it word for word. Because he went at Darren McCarty, and he said that, if you ever played the sport at a high level.
Yeah, I don't know if you've ever played the sport before, but if you have, and he tried to, he was mansplaining hockey to Darren McCarty, which, I mean, you just look like a doofus.
Of all human beings.
Yeah.
That's the one? Okay, so I'll give context to it. They're talking about physicality in hockey. This is Darren's tweet. It says, rule number 1, get out of the way. Rule number 2.
Yeah,
if you're gonna get hit. Oh yeah, you said that.
It was about a hit on Connor Bedard, where Connor Bedard was standing away from the boards and got hit somewhat late, but it's
didn't
hockey.
Brace himself at all.
Yeah, didn't brace himself. Wasn't against the boards, so he kind of got thrown into the boards. And Chicago fans, we know how shitty Chicago fans are, so they're all crying. Oh, he got hit. He's playing hockey. Wah. And D-Mac said, "This is the things you learn in hockey. Number 1." Get close to the boards, because if you're gonna get hit, you want to be on the boards, not 2 feet away. He was like 2 feet away from boards equals death. So then this guy tried to mansplain hockey to 4-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty.
Graham Mink says, false, in all caps. Not sure if you ever played the game, but those of who have played at a high level know that the best way to maintain possession is to turn your back to the other player and hopefully draw a penalty. Go back to your video games, period.
That's terrible.
To Darren McCarty. Even if you don't know who Darren is, if you click on his bio, it says 4-time Stanley Cup champion.
Yeah.
Like if you played the game at a high... 4-time Stanley Cup champion!
Yeah.
What do you mean? He's been around the best. He's played against the best. What a fucking tool bag this guy is.
He was literally on the greatest team ever assembled in the history of hockey.
Come on, bro.
Like,
do you have it?
Yeah, I do.
Throw it up. You don't gotta wait for us. Just throw it on up there. I just want to show that this tweet actually exists. This dumbass is out there.
Yeah.
Taking up all the good oxygen. So find him. No, I'm playing. Don't do nothing crazy. But yeah, there's some guy. Like
we need the Swifties to get on this, man.
We really do. Graham Mink, I really wish I could see this guy's face once he realized. I mean, if you know hockey, you know Darren is too. Like it's not, and he's like an old guy from the looks of it. I could understand if you're like a younger kid because like the whole. It would happen after we were born, or like we were like wee little toddlers, whatever you want to say. This guy, if you know the game that well and you've been around that long, you see the name.
Everyone who knows hockey knows who Darren McCarty is,
and it literally says his name too. It's crazy.
Anyone who watches hockey, who likes hockey, knows who Darren McCarty is. He is the centerpiece of one of the most iconic days in the history of the NHL. So like, yeah, if you don't know who Darren McCarty is, you're just a loser.
Fight night at the Joe. Yeah.
20 days.
Just wanted to call that guy out for being...
And happy birthday, happy 47th birthday to Officer Anakin in the Woodward Sports chat.
Shout out.
Hope you have a great day, man.
Yep.
If it is your 17th, happy 17th. But I think we all know, officer, that he's not his 17.
Yeah, come on, officer. You ain't tricking
You're not tricking anybody, officer.
Almost got Chris.
But
You almost got Chris.
But
That's when we had to call you out.
happy birthday to you, brother. Hope you have a great day.
A fun fact about Chris that I came across on the internet last night. They said any grown man who owns a cat, just a cat, they're just something's wrong there.
They're a little Elton Johnish. Just
Maybe Elton Johnish, maybe a little bit of a psychopath. I mean,
I think it's more Elton John to be allergic to cats, personally.
no, not at all, because that's just something you can't
everybody's
help, right?
allergic to cats.
I guess being a guy that wants to own a cat, you can't help either. But yeah, and I think it makes sense. It adds up with everything else I don't want.
Chris, care to comment on the cat accusations that you may be a little strange because you have a cat?
I do own a cat.
What is this second one? Lions lose a legend to the Commanders?
Yeah, a longtime Detroit Lions legend, Zach Ertz, signed with the Commanders today on a 1-year deal.
Damn, his tenure in Detroit will not be forgotten.
It will not be forgotten. Very appreciative of the moments he gave to us in the Detroit Lions, Honolulu Blue. His contributions to everything we've done the past 3 years is just, it's unforgettable stuff, man. And I just wanted to shout out Zach Ertz for the time he spent in Detroit. I think he deserves that moment.
Zach Ertz, pivotal for the Detroit Lions NFC Championship run.
I mean, everyone wants to be excited about Sam Laporta. If there's no Zach Ertz, there's no Sam Laporta.
Yeah.
It's lineage.
It
did a
breaks
lot.
down like that.
He did a lot. It's extremely, what he does for the Detroit Lions can't be taught.
You can't.
It can't be just, you can't just go out and get a guy, late in the season to provide you the same kind of impact that Zach Ertz has on a team. Like, he carried this team on his back to the NFC Championship game, and he will be forgotten. I mean, he won't be forgotten.
He will be forgotten.
Never forget Zach Ertz.
Zach Ertz, the guy that should have been in when Anthony Frisker had that catch in the NFC Championship game and was 2 yards short of the end zone. Should have been Zach Ertz. I still think he would have got in.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zach Ertz, man, I appreciate you. Another Detroit Lion departing from, I can't say departing, but I already said Detroit Lions. It sounds weird to say it like that. Jerry Jacobs officially done with the Detroit Lions.
Yeah.
That was already speculated. I know there's a tweet in there from that one, Chris, or maybe there's not.
Oh, yeah.
Your brother in arms.
Yes, my brother in arms, Jerry Jacobs. Moving on from the Detroit Lions. To be honest with you, too.
Here is Jerry Jacobs' tweet. He says, "Forever thankful for Detroit. I swear giving a kid from Atlanta, Georgia a chance at the biggest stage of football, I would never forget. Thank you for letting a kid from Atlanta, Georgia shine. I will always cherish the city that helped me become my dream. Forever grateful, Jerry Jacobs." And shout out to Jerry Jacobs. Shout out to Seatbelt. It's he's a great guy, man. Great guy, great dude. Always showed the Heavies love whenever we saw him.
Yep.
Very cool guy. He coming off the couch doing what he did, not a lot of people can do. So mad props to him. Hopefully you land on your feet wherever you're going. Maybe it's the Falcons. Maybe you go to the Falcons. So we'll see. But shout out Jerry.
4 interceptions this year for him too. I mean, at times you could argue that he was CB1 here in Detroit. But wishing him the best. I hope he goes to a system or scheme that fits him, where he's able to be the best version of himself. I don't know that was the situation here. I'm not saying he's a bad player. Like, I don't think he's a bad player. Like, he may go somewhere and shine.
I hope he goes somewhere that has a pass rush.
Yeah.
So he's not on an island all day, because we saw what happens. But good luck to Jerry in the future.
Yes, wishing the best to Jerry. And one more other piece before we get out of here. We're not leaving anything. Make sure you guys hit that like button.
Well, see ya.
I'm not fucking leaving.
Hey, Dion, do you want to come on the show a little bit later today?
I'm down. What's up?
All right. Dose of Dion will be joining the show. I answered the phone live on air.
That's illegal. That's entrapment, motherfucker.
All right, I'm going to text you a link. We'll figure out time or whatever. I saw your cornerbacks video, so I want to break that down or tease it.
Oh, cool.
All right, bet. Teasing the show. Dose
Shout
of
out.
Dion.
That was
Dose of
great.
Dion later today. And then for you guys, if you're just in and you're out or you got something going on, tomorrow we'll be joined by the PFF lead draft analyst, Trevor Sycamore. He'll be joining us as well. And we'll be having a great week. Great week. Next week, working on some big names too, following Detroit Lions free agency. We'll see what's to come of that situation. We got lots of money to spend, but Brad doesn't sound like he wants to spend it on one particular player, so it sounds like he's going to get a handful instead.
Hey, Dad, do you have anything you want to say to the people?
Do I have anything I want to say to the people?
Yeah, you're live on air right now. Eazy tried to show me up, so I called you.
Yeah, peace, love, and I won't say the rest.
All right, appreciate you. I'll see you later.
Shout out to Danny Raxter.
Yeah,
Thought that man was about to quote Logic.
You know, my dad had something to say, so sorry, Dion, but
May I help you?
Hi, I just wanted to order a chicken punang.
What's your first name?
Spencer.
Okay. Did you want to order any
bro, put the gun down, please.
What was that one more time? I'm sorry.
appetizers?
I'm fine. Give me 1 second. We're just calling people. Let's go order some Thai food. Let's go to break. When we get back, let's bitch about some Pistons, huh?
All right, let me tell you about Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness is the home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and we mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, a full-body workout in just 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all that for just $10 a month, no commitment. No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness close by, more than 50 in Metro Detroit, and thousands more throughout the world. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Feel alive during Feldman Chevrolet's biggest New Year's sales event ever. Get the best prices on our huge selection of award-winning Chevrolets. Like this 2024 Equinox for $188 per month. Or this 2024 Silverado for $268 per month. It's the New Year's sales event going on now at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Every year, after a cold and dreary winter, Metro Detroiters come together for two things: Tigers baseball and the best damned party in the world. A new season of Tigers baseball is here, and we're bringing in the new season as only Woodward Sports knows how. Broadcasting live from the biggest party. It's the Grand Slam Festival at the Detroit Opera House. Come party with 4,000 Detroit sports fans, starting with Wake Up Woodward and rolling into Big D Energy. This is a party you don't want to miss, with Detroit's best DJs, food trucks, and of course, shots. Get your tickets now at GrandSlamFest.com. 21 plus. See you April 5th at the Grand Slam Fest.
Head on over to Woodward Sports and get you some brand new merch. Yes, some merch. Hoodies, hats, tees, all guaranteed to turn out. That's right, sound it out. Merch at WoodwardSports.com. Click the shop tab today and get you some brand new merch.
I think it's to the point where we could sell a merch shirt that says merch.
Yeah,
I'd wear it.
I'd wear it too.
I'd be down.
I would.
I'm kind of disappointed with the Thai place. I was hoping like someone from Thailand would actually answer. So
What would someone from Thailand sound like, Eazy?
I don't know, Nick. You tell us.
Football.
Big football fans in Thailand?
Big football fans in Thailand. I got Detroit Pistons at the beginning because like I know like the show gets rolling, like not everybody's in right away. So I figured we'd get like the boring shit out of the way or report it towards the end. That's typically how I do.
Put the trash in the front.
But how do you guys want to do this? You want to just dump it to the back end, or you want to just get it out the way right now?
No, get it out the way now.
All right. Detroit Pistons signed Taj Gibson
off
to a 10-day contract. 38-year-old Taj Gibson.
Look out!
Signed to the Detroit Pistons. And I guess that means absolutely nothing at this point. They are not making any type of playoff. They're not making any type of play-in. They're not contending for anything. I thought we were done experimenting with lineups, so I don't know why that's a thing.
Look out!
Is it a veteran leadership thing? Didn't hire him as a coach? I mean, what is this?
No, he's got ties to the Tellums. It's
Tell him.
It's what it is. It's not Soulja Boy to tell him. It's the end of the Pistons franchise to tell him. Like, I'm fucking done with this shit, man. Get everybody out of here. Get everybody whose hands had hands in the creation of this
Get
team.
everyone out of here with hands.
Everybody with hands, get them out of there. I want nubs in the front office. If you had a hand in creating this team, if you had a hand into assembling this team, you should be fired. You should lose your job. I'm not in the business of calling for men's jobs. I want everybody to be able to feed their family, but the Tellums don't deserve to feed their families. Troy Weaver is a terrorist. Monty Williams.
You're fired!
Get all of these guys out of here. I've been saying this for a couple months now. Clear the front office.
Clear.
Get nobody in that front office deserves to have a job. Nobody. You cannot consistently put out this garbage product for years and years and years and just be like, oh, well, we're trying. We're going to stop experimenting. I promise we're going to try to win next year. That's when we're really going to do it. I know we were the worst team in the NBA last year and we're going to be it again this year, but next year we're really going to buckle down and try to win. I don't give a fuck. Get these bums out of my franchise. Goodbye. Good riddance. Good day, sir. Like, get rid of them. Rest in piss. Let the door hit you in the ass on the way out. Tellums, Weaver, Monty, anybody in that front office with a pulse should be drawn and quartered. Get them out of here.
I'm not going to, so quit asking.
Tom Gore's from his cruise.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, he's not
Tom
doing
Morris
anything.
is drunk in Cabo sipping on a Mai Tai, and he thinks the Pistons record is in reverse. He's like, oh, we're the best team of all time. Tom, get off your ass and do something. It is your job to make executive decisions. I don't give a shit if they're your drinking buddies. I don't give a shit if they help you bury a hooker in your backyard. Fire these guys. They suck. They can't do their jobs. They shouldn't be employed. Get rid of them. They are ruining a storied franchise in the history of the NBA, and you're playing a major role in it. Goodbye. Good day, sir. You don't deserve to own an NBA franchise. Adam Silver, step in. Get this bum out of here. Force him to sell the team. This is embarrassing. Fuck.
Christopher?
Let him cook.
Shit.
Honey, I got a promotion. You'll never believe what happened today. No, I'm echoing everything Spencer said. At this point, there's just a pure lack of accountability all the way around. These favors, the fact that you're taking a franchise that's already losing more games than any other franchise in the NBA, and only 2 other franchises in all of American sports have more losses over the last decade than the Pistons. And the fact that you're taking that franchise and you're using it as a stopping ground to retool your sons or your friends, pathetic clients, the ones that are barely hanging on to NBA life. If Taj Gibson got let go of by Tom Thibodeau, whatever. Tom Thibodeau. Whoever. If you got let go of by that guy, bro, it's over for you. He held on to Joakim Noah for 7 extra years. He held on to those Chicago Bulls players like crazy. And the fact that Taj Gibson 12 years ago, sure, that would have been a great signing. But now, no, it's not. This is just another favor that this team is doing, and instead of using that roster spot to actually take young guys in a worthless season, put them in a position and see if you can win some damn games, you are instead wasting it on favors. This is disgusting all the way around. I've liked to try to give Troy Weaver his credit for his drafting and some of the moves he's made. I've liked to have the idea of Tom Gore as an owner that's willing to spend, that didn't want to move this team away when there was rumors that this team was getting bought, that it might be moved away. I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt, but you know what? That's past due. That time is up, and there's no more grace period. There's no more favors. We need results as a franchise, because this is one of the best franchises in the NBA. It's top 5 in the NBA in championships. This is a historic franchise that just 15 years ago had one of the best 8-year stretches any franchise has had in the NBA. One of the best winning percentages. And now you flip that, in the last decade, they've had the worst in the NBA. The Sacramento Kings look at us and laugh. Mm-hmm. What are we doing?
Yeah, fuck.
What are we doing? The Charlotte Hornets have players sipping lean and doing all sorts of crazy things, and they're like, yeah, well, we're not Detroit. That's crazy to me. It's terrible all the way around, and results need to happen immediately.
I can't keep arguing with these fucking 12-year-olds on Twitter about how the Detroit Pistons are one of the greatest franchises in NBA history because they don't know that. They haven't seen the Pistons win a playoff game in their lives. Oof. Not a series, not a championship, a playoff game. Singular. One. You're done. You should be done. Adam Silver, step in. Like, what are you doing? Detroit basketball is a thing. The city of Detroit rides with their teams. And the Pistons are one of those teams. They have been one of those teams. They've adopted the identity of Detroit multiple times. This is ruining the image of the Pistons for everyone. When the Pistons are good, I know you guys don't like it. I know the NBA doesn't like it when the Pistons are good. But when the Pistons are good, it's good for basketball. Because Detroit is a big basketball spot. I know some people on the air will tell you nobody gives a shit about the Pistons. They don't have any fans. They're bullshitting you. They're just straight up fucking lying to you. The Pistons have a huge fan base. They have a lot of supporters. And they deserve better than this horseshit product you've been putting out. And Tom Gores, this is on you. I've had my rant about Troy Weaver. I've had my rant about Monty Williams. I've had my rant about the front office, the tell-ems. Tom Gores, this is on you. You are a loser. If you continue to let this happen, you are a fucking loser. And you need to change something. Have some shame. Have some pride. Be a man. Step up and make some changes. Because if not, if you're just rolling over and taking it, you're a loser. And that's what you've been doing the past 5 years. It's embarrassing. You should be embarrassed in yourself. You should be embarrassed in your product. And you should be embarrassed as a businessman to allow this to continue.
Let me talk to you.
I think that might be the issue. There might be a little bit too much pride there. I mean, he's the one that stepped in and decided he knew what was best in the hiring of Monty Williams, who didn't want to come back to basketball. And now it looks like he's self-sabotaging himself to leave basketball again, just only this time with the fattest coaching contract the NBA's ever dealt out, ever, in fucking history. Like, how do you, like last night, after the game, he makes comments about, like, not being able to spread the ball or, like, not shooting a three, like, efficiently. But you're starting Isaiah Stewart when you have Fontecchio, that's literally what he's there for. You space the floor, everything makes more sense. Actually, do you have the stuff from Jack Kelly?
Yeah, I do.
You want to put this up? Because here's the line between Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, Asor Thompson, Fontecchio, and Duren. It's got a net rating of 2.2.
In 110 minutes.
And it's 110 minutes. It's working. Like, remember before Stu came back and they were actually playing like a little bit of competitive ball?
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing?
Oh, yeah. Osama bin Monty Williams is definitely a problem. Saddam Osama Monty Williams, like, that is just stupid. The shit he throws out there is stupid. I can't help that.
The back half of that tweet, too, I forgot to read this part, I apologize. It's the only lineup to play 100 minutes of more that has a positive net rating. The others have a negative 10 net rating or lower. It is literally the only
good lineup on the team.
Yes, and I'm not a big advanced analytics guy. If you guys watch the show enough, like you know that to be true. But I don't think you need advanced analytics to tell you that just spreads or spaces the floor a lot easier. I don't think you need advanced analytics to tell you that Cade Cunningham works a lot better. How about Cade Cunningham and Ivy, who I just don't like as a pairing already, works better with 3-point shooting on the floor. And that's the other part of it too. We want to put out this all bench lineup that's fucking absolute trash, and you want to make the argument that Stu is like worthy of being like you're in the front court for you to start the game. Put him on there. Breathe some fucking life into that all bench lineup then. He's actively trying to get himself fired. There's no other explanation for this shit.
Yeah.
How do you let Evan Fournier on a team with Cade Cunningham shoot 2 for 10? Like, he hit 2 shots. I was watching it with my friend, and he hit 2 threes in a row, and I was like, okay, this is actually as good as much as we need these points, and this offense is struggling. This is the worst thing to happen for this team because he is going to shoot the next 6 shots. And sure enough, he did. He took 6 shots. You should not take 6 shots as Evan Fournier. He shouldn't be playing, let alone taking 6 shots in crunch time. Are you kidding me?
And Steve Wildes says he's the worst owner in Detroit right now. For sure. He is the worst owner in basketball. Yeah. Tom Gores is worse than James Dolan. My 2 teams that I like, that I watch, had the 2 worst owners in the sport. And Tom Gores has usurped the title of the worst owner in the NBA from James Dolan. Tom Gores might be the worst owner in professional sport right now. He's that bad. It's that embarrassing.
People saying that Adam Silver can't step in and this and that.
He absolutely can.
What happened when the Pistons were on their losing streak at the beginning of the season? And you know what they were on pace to do? They were on pace to have a worse record than the franchise, trust the process, Philadelphia 76ers. And when that happened, Adam Silver stepped in. So he's done this before to teams that are in this shit situation and can't run themselves. He has stepped in and done it. He absolutely has the ability to step in and take control of the situation, and I think he needs to.
And Steve O'Baby says, if Bill Davidson was alive, he would have fired their asses. 1,000%.
No doubt.
Because Bill Davidson had pride. He actually took pride in the product he was putting out there. He actually wanted to see a winning basketball team. Tom Gorse doesn't give a shit.
Well, I think there's pride. He's just a dumbass. Like, he's gone out there and spent the money. Where it's been both for players and obviously now Monty Williams with the contract too. Like the pride's there. He's just a fucking idiot. Or he has too much faith and tell him.
Yeah, that's what it is. Get him out, get him out. It's like, what the hell is going on here?
I'm the one. Stay the fuck out,
I
man.
have season tickets in this room. We have a 6-game homestand coming up. I'm selling all of them for whatever I can get for it, just to recoup some of the money back. I am a complete fool for buying into this again. And one basketball questions I want to ask you guys, and I always come back to it. Asar Thompson still shooting 18% from 3. He got a couple wide open looks last night, just completely bricked all of them. I love what he can do besides like the shooting part of it, but is this a guy that you can actually play with Cade Cunningham if Cade's drawing double teams and he can't knock down the open 3? Chris, I'm going to go to you for that.
Look, the numbers say right now, no. Like, if you want to use the lineup numbers that Eazy had, they were, as of before that Miami game, Cade was -9 with Asar in, as opposed to just taking him out. So Cade and Asar have not fit well yet.
That's the only plus lineup was with Asar in there.
Yeah, well, that's the weird thing too, is that other than you take Fontecchio out, and that's where I'm getting at, is Asar can play with Cade. It's very difficult right now. It's not clean, but again, 50, 60 games into your NBA career, I am not writing off a guy that's shown the flashes and potential that Asar has. I'm not writing off the flashes and potential Cade Cunningham have shown. That's the tricky part about all this, is it doesn't look like it's going to be the cleanest fit. And you don't want to hold your bag too long trying to make sure that all these core players, these young players, fit together. But you got to give it more time before you rule out a guy like Asar, because I can see that man being a huge contributor in an NBA Finals team. You saw what Andrew Wiggins did in that Golden State Finals when he was the second best player on the Golden State Warriors besides Steph Curry. Mm-hmm. Like, Asar can have a series like that. Mm-hmm. He could be that disruptive, that impactful on a game. So in a series, so I can't rule out on a guy like that, even though the numbers say that right now it's not fitting.
Well, dude, if you're gonna have Asar out there, you need somebody who can shoot out there, and that's Fontecchio.
Yes,
that's like as simple as that. To have Asar, Stu, and Duren, it's essentially.
It's the dumbest shit.
It's a half a shooter.
Bro, it's like the fucking Andre Drummond, Moose, and fucking Josh Smith
lineup. It's the same exact thing.
Literally the same.
It's mind-numbing.
It's the
fucking
same exact
stupidity.
thing.
It makes no fucking sense that you're an NBA head coach. I love basketball.
Brandon Jennings.
It's probably my second or third favorite sport. It's one of the ones, you guys obviously know that I don't talk the most NHL. I don't talk the most MLB. Football and basketball are my wheelhouse. But I'm not a fucking NBA head coach. And I know that will never fucking work, ever. It's a recipe for disaster every single time. And then to sit here, post-game comments after the fact, oh yeah, I just don't know if we could, get the 3-point shots off that we need to. It's better off just not taking them. You can! You have a guy on your team who hit 5 of them last night off the bench.
You got a couple guys on the bench that can shoot the blood out of the ball.
What are we doing?
And you're just, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing that it continues. And you're losing fans. You are. You're straight up losing fans.
It hurts, bro. It's embarrassing.
It's tough. It's tough, though. I love the Pistons. I've gone to more Pistons games in my life than probably any other team, other than maybe the Tigers. But it's just embarrassing. I used to get, like, my dad had a guy on his mail route that he was this doctor, and he used to give my dad tickets 2 rows behind the Pistons bench. Mm-hmm. This was early 2000s. This was, going to work Pistons. And it was awesome. It was amazing. Some of the plays I saw, some of the games I saw. You couldn't pay me to go to a Pistons game this year. I won't. I know Kool-Aid wants to get us all together to go to a Pistons game. I appreciate him for that, but I'm not going to go. I'm not going to show my face there. If the owner doesn't give a shit about what the team looks like, why should I go support them? If the front office doesn't give a shit about what the team looks like, why should I support them? If the head coach is putting out worse products than he can, literally putting out worse lineups than he should, why should I go support them? I feel for the players. I feel for Cade Cunningham. Cade, don't resign.
Shut up.
I wouldn't resign.
Shut up. Cut his mic.
Cade Cunningham, I wouldn't resign if I was you.
Cut his mic. We're done. We got to go commercial break anyway.
You deserve better than this.
You're going too far.
You deserve better than this shit that they're putting out there, than this shit that you're playing for. Every player on this team deserves better than this front office, than this head coach, and this owner. It's the worst in sport. They're embarrassing.
Football coming up.
Come into Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience and register to win a trip of your dreams and all expenses paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament. That's right, no expenses spared for you and 5 of your best buds. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience called the Feldman Advantage. With 18 locations, there's a Feldman dealership in your backyard. Visit feldmanauto.com to find the location nearest you. Catch Woodward Sports Network live from Feldman Chevrolet on Novi every other Monday. Feldman Chevrolet, Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer.
Welcome to Woodward Heavyweights live on WoodwardSports.com. I'm Eazy at Spinmo Rax, Young Chris, Uncle Nick, a.k.a. Detroit Mario, a.k.a. Nicholas Kohloff.
Let's go.
If you guys have already, please make sure to hit the like button. It means the world to us. Time to move on to something a little bit more positive. And I apologize. I just want to get the Pistons out the way. I didn't know it was going to go that deep. But obviously it's something we all had in our chest, so we had to get out. Detroit Lions are in talks of acquiring Legarius Sneed. There was reports last night from a USA Today member. Do we have the tweet for that one? There's 6 teams that inquired about Legarius Sneed.
Don't doubt me, man.
Tyler Dragon. What a name. What a fucking name.
That
sounds like a fake name.
That's got to be a fake name.
I clicked on the profile. It's real. I wish that
Who
was
does
my
he
name.
work for?
That's like a name out of a Disney Channel original movie. It's like the bad guy's name. USA Today.
Tyler Dragon.
Yeah, I could think of like the intro to his song being made, or like the intro song to his TV show.
Definitely changed his name.
Tyler Dragon.
The minute he was an adult enough to do it. Either way, Vikings, Colts, Titans, Patriots, Lions, Falcons, and Jaguars have all inquired about Legarius Sneed. Meaning, as much as I'm downplaying it, and I don't think it's gonna happen.
He kind of looks like A-Train.
It's still a possibility. And the one thing, what do you say? Everyone looks the same. What's one thing to say?
That's not what I said. Eazy kind of looks like A-Train.
we're all kind of talking about Legarius Sneed. And he's part of a championship team. We're kind of giving him the badge of like being like a CB1. But I feel like no one's ever like looked into the numbers to see like what he truly is, if he's truly a fit for this scheme. I believe he's a fit for this scheme. We had conversations with obviously between ourselves, and we had somebody on earlier this week from The Athletic that said the same thing too. But Legarius Sneed, low-key kind of locked down.
Low-key?
Low-key.
He was, I would say more than low-key kind of locked down. He was an extremely locked down cornerback last year.
Yeah. Low-key doesn't flirt with like a $20 million news contract.
Yeah. Low-key isn't the hottest commodity on the market.
Well, we've seen guys kind of, I feel like getting, I mean, Odell Beckham always bring up because that's like the most recent one that at least it comes to my mind. Guys have gotten like these contracts based off their names versus like actual production. Like the fact that he got paid more or was like valued more than DeAndre Hopkins blows my fucking mind. Mm-hmm. I can't make any sense of it. But it happened, right? But Legarius Sneed, he's the real deal. I think I sent the tweet with some of his numbers against wide receivers ones.
Yes, you did.
I did?
Against one particular wide receiver.
Oh, snap. Tyreek Hill? Oh, I did some just that one.
Chase.
I apologize. Jamar Chase. Yeah. So targeted 3 times, only 2 receptions for 27 yards.
I mean,
they got in a fight during the middle of that one.
That's not really lockdown, I would say.
That's lockdown with Jamar Chase. What do you mean?
2 receptions on the 3 targets?
Yeah. That means Jamar Chase, the blood, I don't know what word I'm looking for, the lifeline of that offense.
Out of the 3 times they threw it to him, he caught 2 of them.
But he only it's Jamar Chase, Spencer Raxter. What are we doing right now?
I'm just saying, like
he's like the top 3 wide receiver in the league. I mean, the fact that he's been only targeted 3 times in that game alone is insane. You've seen his fantasy numbers. You're a fantasy guy too. That's locked down.
It's a good game for sure. But like when he gets targeted, he made the plays.
Oh, yeah, 2 of the 3 times he was targeted. Wasn't able to target him more than 3 times.
Yeah, it's true.
It's. I mean, those are great numbers. I have some other numbers too here. Let me grab them here from my Twitter. I apologize. Tyreek Hill. If you guys saw the tape already, it went kind of viral in the playoff game where he's just stuffing Tyreek Hill at the line of scrimmage, throwing him down like a baby. That was something I liked too. A couple of numbers here too from the following wide receiver ones. Calvin Ridley. 2 catches, 32 yards. DJ Moore, 1 catch, 4 yards.
Yep.
That's a guy in our division. Garrett Wilson, 3 catches, 24 yards.
Yeah.
Justin Jefferson, 2 catches, 14 yards, although he did get hurt in this one. This is all from 2023. A.J. Brown, 1 catch, 4 yards.
Yeah.
That was fucking impressive.
Yeah, dude, that's why he's the best cornerback on the market. Like, that's why he is in line for this huge payday, and that's why he's not going to play on a franchise tag, because he had a fantastic year. It was this guy is the reason that the Chiefs went on such a great run. I mean, the defense is the reason the Chiefs won the Super Bowl this year. And you look at the guys that were the biggest parts of it, and it was Chris Jones, L'Jarius Sneed, and Trent McDuffie. So I would love to see him on the Detroit Lions. And we saw tweets earlier in the week that said that it would only take maybe a second-day pick.
Yeah.
To get him out of the hands of the Chiefs, and I would do that for sure.
Honestly, I've always been down for it. I've never been like, no, I don't want L'Jarius Sneed. It's not my money we're spending, and I think we're like that close from like competing. Like, he's truly like a difference maker, right? Like
you were if you had L'Jarius Sneed last year, you're playing in the Super Bowl.
Maybe so.
Period.
Maybe so. Honestly, I don't necessarily disagree with that one. But the part about it for me is I look back at the brand of football he plays. And I don't know, things may be changing because now we're kind of a little bit of America's sweetheart, I feel like. Or maybe just that was last year, and that may change going forward. But we're used to getting kind of like fucked by referees, no?
Yeah.
He's really physical. I think he drew the most penalties out of like any DB last year. And that's with the Kansas City Chiefs, who kind of get the benefit of the doubt when it comes to these referees. Does any of that concern you? Because we have one play, too. I don't know if you want to put it in 3 camps because it's from,
I'm gonna do that.
From the NFL broadcast. But he is kind of touchy-feely. I mean, look at the play we were talking about with Tyreek Hill. He's literally just shoving him to the ground. And that's within the 5 yards. Mm-hmm. But we know how it is in Honolulu Blue. Those flags fly different.
That's true. The Chiefs get the most calls in the NFL.
Do you think it'd be just as effective here, playing that brand of football?
That's a flag if he's a Lion.
Right? Does any of that concern
That's
you?
definitely a flag if he's a Lion. No.
Nick?
Not really.
Yes. I mean, it's hard not to. With everything from the past. I mean, it is
so
a little
you're good
concerning.
with Emmanuel Moses? No,
shut. Yeah, that does concern me. Him being extremely physical, but I mean, a good corner is a good corner. I mean, if he gets some calls, I'm okay with it because he's making plays the other times. The thing about Sneed, if you are going to go over the blue chip guy, he is one, but he's on the cornerback side. Would you rather go corner here or D end if like Brad Holmes is going to make one of those blue chip signings that we've been talking about all offseason?
Cornerback.
You would rather have it being in the secondary as the outside cornerback?
Yes.
That this
Like
team
if he's
needs?
spin break, like if he's grabbing like one of these top tier guys.
Yeah.
Like,
top tier guys.
Like
Would you rather have
like realistic guys available, or guys that like Chris Jones gonna be signed to the Chiefs? But if we grab Chris Jones, I'm grabbing Chris Jones over L'Jarius Sneed all day.
Give me a cornerback.
Cornerback.
Give me a cornerback over the defensive line in free agency because James Houston is better than any comparably per their spot. James Houston is better than who you have out there at cornerback. James Houston's a better defensive end or edge rusher, I'll say, because he's not a defensive end, than any cornerback you're putting out there. And it's easier, I think, for a guy to come in, a rookie, on the defensive line and have an impact than it is to be a cornerback and have an impact.
Give me the defensive lineman
that
all
a lot.
day. You don't need to put it in perspective. Outside of L'Jarius or Tre'Davious Ward, who was the other starting cornerback on that team? I really don't know. Go to the Baltimore Ravens. Oh, they got Murphy.
Trent McDuffie.
No,
First
I'm
team
talking about
All-Pro.
the 49ers.
Oh, on the 49ers, yeah.
I couldn't even tell you who it was.
No, probably not.
To go to the Baltimore Ravens. Who's the other opposing corner next to Humphrey?
Marlon Humphrey. But we don't have one.
We
Cam
don't.
Sutton's not Travarius Ward or Marlon Humphrey.
But I feel like if you get that interior, and I'm talking about more so an interior piece, not necessarily like an edge, but like somebody to get pressure on the quarterbacks, like that's going to make all those guys work.
Yeah, I don't.
We've seen it here.
I mean, I don't think the only one on the interior that is really putting in that same class as a L'Jarius Sneed on the outside is Chris Jones, and he's not going anywhere.
Well, Christian Wilkins is out there now too.
Yeah.
Officially.
You think Christian Wilkins would be a great fit? You don't.
I don't know.
You don't like that guy next
like
to
him.
Aleem though.
I wanted a big heavy next to him.
I like Christian Wilkins a lot, but
I don't think like that's a guy. If he's there and you're very like you can get him. I don't think you say no to it just because like what he is.
Yeah.
I don't think these are any things that are like within the realm of like reality. But like I want the defensive lineman. Give me the guy that's gonna make those guys look better. Because we got to the NFC Conference Championship with Kendall. I feel like I say this every day. But if Aiden had somebody else helping him get to the quarterback there, or at least somebody helping Aleem get there.
That works both ways, though. We got to the NFC Championship game with not getting a lot of pass rush either. And next year, you're expecting Aleem McNeil to be healthy all year and James Houston to be healthy all year. We're expecting Emmanuel Mosley to be healthy.
Yeah, but the less quality of player was at the cornerback position.
Right now, still, yes.
Yeah, I'm saying like on the journey to that NFC Conference Championship.
And right now on this team, you have less quality player at the cornerback position too. So I'd rather upgrade the position that needs it more.
Well, you can upgrade both of them, right? There's no way you're like not going to get.
Yeah, and I think it's easier to upgrade the defensive line in the draft than it is the cornerback position.
I agree.
It's fair, but it's also not guaranteed. I'd rather go
Nothing's
and get the.
Guaranteed.
I'd rather go get if I'm grabbing. Put you this way, like if you're Vegas, or you don't have to be Vegas, but like, what do you think would happen if the Lions added Chris Jones? Odds for the Super Bowl probably top 3. They added versus if we add L'Jarius Sneed, they're probably going up like one spot to like 4th, which I think it is like right now. I know we're like apples and oranges, but I want the defensive lineman all day.
Yeah, but you're not getting Chris Jones. It's not going to happen.
Say it's Wilkins then. Say you're gonna have to.
I
You're
would
gonna have
rather
to
have
spend
L'Jarius
for one
Sneed
of
over
these
Christian
guys.
Wilkins.
Yeah, probably just for fit wise, I'd rather have Sneed than Wilkins.
I would rather have Sneed over Wilkins. I like DJ Reader as an interior defensive lineman you can bring. Now, Daniil Hunter, if you're telling me it's Daniil Hunter or L'Jarius Sneed, then I'd think about it. Yeah, then I'd think about it. But on the interior defensive line, there's nobody outside of Chris Jones that I'd rather have more than L'Jarius Sneed, and Chris Jones isn't leaving. I'm not fucking leaving.
So if it is a day 2 pick and you are re-signing Sneed, you think they can come to a long-term contract? I mean, that's why you're trading for him, right? Like, what do you think that comes in like less than 20? You think that comes in less than 20 mil?
No.
Or does it start with a 2?
It starts with a 2. I'm telling you guys that.
Well, so does Chris Jones.
Chris Jones, yeah.
Like you're saying, if you trade for, you're not trading for L'Jarius Sneed because you got to pay him. If you trade for Chris Jones or Daniil Hunter, you're going to have to pay him the same amount of money.
I'm not saying. I didn't say any of those things. What are you talking about?
So if they trade with L'Jarius
I'm just saying.
Sneed,
I'm saying a defensive lineman is more valuable than the cornerback. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It can be.
I'll put it to you this way.
But you look at your favorite defense of all time. One of my favorite defense of all time.
Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who were the edge? Cliff Averill.
Cliff Averill. They had Bruce Irvin. They had Michael Bennett. They had a dog-ass defensive line.
Yeah, but their secondary was by far better.
Their secondary was there.
It was a complete defense. I mean, they were fucking elite everywhere.
Bobby Wagner.
Defensive line, Bobby Wagner. Like that's just one of the best.
But their secondary was by far the best part.
Well, the secondary was like a lot. Those are the guys talking. Those are the guys are marketed, right? I mean,
Sherman, Chancellor, Thomas,
Browner.
Yeah,
they were dogs.
Yeah,
everywhere. But no, I think defensive line.
I'm not mad. Give me either of them. This team needs a quarterback. You need a quarterback. They don't have a starting quarterback on this team right now outside of Cam Sutton. They literally don't have one. Right now, if the season started today, your starting quarterbacks would be Cam Sutton and Stephen Gilmore.
Yeah, but I mean, they're going to grab somebody. But we got to go to break. We got Dion waiting for us. Let's have this conversation with him. First, I got to tell you guys about Swiss Insurance. There's good news and there's bad news. The bad news, insurance rates are going up across the board in Michigan. The good news, Swiss Insurance is here to help. Right now, more than ever, it's critical for you to have your insurance reviewed. Swiss will make sure your carrier does not slip in any extra fees or raise deductibles. Call Mark today at Swiss Insurance at swissins.com and tell him the Heavyweights sent you.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports. How would you like to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome. Every year, after a cold and dreary winter, Metro Detroiters come together for 2 things: Tigers baseball and the best damned party in the world. A new season of Tigers baseball is here, and we're bringing in the new season as only Woodward Sports knows how. Broadcasting live from the biggest party. It's the Grand Slam Festival at the Detroit Opera House. Come party with 4,000 Detroit sports fans, starting with Wake Up Woodward and rolling into Big D Energy. This is a party you don't want to miss, with Detroit's best DJs, food trucks, and of course, shots. Get your tickets now at GrandSlamFest.com. 21 plus. See you April 5th at the Grand Slam Fest.
What's better than crispy chicken and pizza while watching your favorite team play? Let me tell you about Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza. Their food is amazing and their locations are popping up all over Metro Detroit. A perfect takeout option featuring hand-breaded fried chicken, New York pizza, fresh salads, sides, and more. Check out their full menu and find the closest Soroki's near you at Sorokis.com. That's SAROKIS.com. Soroki's and Woodward Sports. Now that's crispy.
Damn, what bar. Did you make that up or is that on the paper? It's on the paper. Stick made that one for sure. What up, though? I'm Eazy. That's Spinmo Rax, Young Chris, Nicholas Kohloff.
It used to be called Crispy back in the day. Remember?
No,
TV class.
No one called you that.
Nobody called you
TV class.
You that.
Wow. Okay. Never mind. That's crazy.
I remember
That's crazy. Easy's out here trying to big league me right now. Like, that was what I was called.
We have a guest waiting to come on.
No, but this is more important right now. Validate my name. Say you were there. Say you saw it.
I never called you Crispy.
He literally called me Crispy all the time. The teacher.
I don't know. Put on Dion, dude.
Throw Dion on.
We have a whole guest waiting. What are we doing right now?
There you go.
I'm sorry,
man.
Dion. I apologize.
You're good. You're good. Hey,
get for
let me
lying.
just say real quick, it's good to be here with Eazy, Spemo, Rax, and Crispy, man. It's good to see you.
Appreciate you. See, that's a real one right there.
You feel better now?
Yeah.
I know who my friends are. I'll tell you that.
What up, Dion? How you been, man?
Man, I'm good. I'll say this. So you brought up the cornerback video. That may have been the worst timing of all time to post a video, man. As soon as I posted it, Tre'Davious White gets released. I'm like, oh my goodness. I would have absolutely probably had him somewhere in the video. But that's how it goes. That's free agency. I'm good though, man. Thanks for having me.
Hey, because I didn't get to watch the whole thing because obviously we had to jump on air here. Who were some of the names you were? Or I guess I don't want to give you. I don't want you to give away the whole video. I want to tease it. But like, who was your number one guy? Your favorite guy?
Yeah. So I took a weird approach to it. As you probably know, I took a weird approach. I was trying to look at some of the under-the-radar guys because you guys were talking about L'Jarius Sneed before we got on here. So, of course, I brought up L'Jarius Sneed, Stephon Gilmore. Those are 2 guys that kind of feel like, to me, after Jalen Johnson got the tag, they're kind of on their own little tier in a way. Stephon Gilmore much different because it's probably a 1-year deal. But for me, like there was a couple guys that stood out, kind of like the under-the-radar path. At the top, I had Ronald Darby. It's all the injuries, but I thought he was incredible last season with Baltimore. But I'll give you another name, one real recent that popped up that I think he's really interesting. I think especially once you bring Emmanuel Mosley back, his style could actually make sense again. Darius Williams from Jacksonville. Of course, there's a connection there. It'd be a little bit weird to have him and Cam Sutton because I think some of the areas that they both lack in the same area. But Darius Williams, another guy, is coming off an incredible season, 4 interceptions. So I had him on the list as well.
How do you feel about him as a my bad, Spinny? How do you feel about him as a fit? Because I know Jacksonville, when I looked it up, they play like a little bit more of zone coverage. Obviously, he's kind of smaller too at 5'9". He's going to be 31 once the time the season starts. Like, where do you like? I guess what type of contract does he demand on the open market, and is he a fit here in Detroit for the man scheme that AG likes to run? I should say.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. That's why I thought I had him lower on the list for that reason, because I thought it was a weird fit. First off, the age, he's not young, so I think he's 30 years old at this point, so he's a little bit on that side. Also, the aspect of I don't love his long speed. As you said, he's a little bit undersized, so he doesn't offset Cam Sutton. If they're both starting, they're kind of like the same. I won't say they're the same player, but they bring a lot of similarities. And to your point, like you just said, zone coverage. Now, I think he's very effective in kind of that off-man coverage, but I think we saw a lot more of this past season. But again, I don't know how well that balances with Cam Sutton, because there's going to be times we're going to want someone to press up on the line of scrimmage. It's not that he can't do that. It's just that's not where I want him. So I think it's a weird fit, but I think once you bring Emmanuel Mosley back, if you're like, okay, we can make this thing work because we'll just shift our defense to what we have if Mosley's not healthy, I think he could definitely work, because he's really good at what he's good at. He's very good at what he's good at. He's similar in terms of things I think he does well, like Cam Sutton. I think he's a very aware, very smart player, gets his hands on a lot of footballs. I don't know. His market to me seems like he'd be the kind of guy to still get a multi-year deal, even though he's 30 plus, because of how well he played. Like, him getting cut was fully a financial thing. That dude played really well last season. So it's just about finding a team that kind of style interests them. And I think in today's NFL, a lot of teams go to zone-heavy corners, as he talked about, guys that'll play off coverage. I think he's got a good market. I think he'll be kind of expensive this offseason. I see a multi-year deal there.
And, speaking of expensive, speaking of what somebody will cost, what do you think it's going to take to get L'Jarius Sneed off of Kansas City, and what do you think he's going to end up signing to when he gets his deal?
Boy, that's a tough one. Yeah, so first off, the trade side, I think second round pick sounds right. It sounds right. I think for them, getting more than what a comp pick value would be, right? So if it's like at the high end, right, you get like an end of the third round pick. So I think from Kansas City side, like, if we get anything better than that, we're happy. We tagged him. Okay, just give us more than what the comp pick would be. So second round feels right between that second, third round range. Only one of those picks probably to me. The thing with L'Jarius Sneed that I think makes him so valuable is not only is he 27 and he's not like, with all these other guys dealing with crazy injuries. The thing that makes it valuable to me is he's so unique as a player right now. Like, when you talk about the size with also the athleticism that's tied into that, there's just not a lot of dudes on the free agent market that have that mix. So to me, he's very valuable because there's a lot of guys out there that just can't do the things that he does. So yeah, I think he'll get paid a ton. I don't think he even played the best season of the free agent corners out. I don't think he had the best last season of the free agent corners out there when he was on the field. I think there's things he's not perfect at, but I think he's so unique in terms of he checks all of the other boxes: athlete, ball skills, young. To me, because of that, he's going to get a massive deal, I would assume. You guys were talking about before I got in here, $20+ million a year. I think so. He probably does hit that number. And, I think he'll probably take a second, maybe third-round pick.
How do you feel about him as the player? Because last night I couldn't sleep, so I found myself just watching. I just hit the YouTube, L'Jarius Sneed versus Jamar Chase, L'Jarius Sneed versus Justin Jefferson, and he's active, but that defensive scheme in itself is just phenomenal. Obviously got Trent McDuffie helping him at times. There's the bracket covers we saw here with Jeff Okudah shut down Justin Jefferson once upon a time. How do you feel about him as a player, and is he worth that amount of assets to take to get him here?
He is absolutely. That's the thing that is. You can understand it. Like, you know exactly. Everybody knows it as Lions fans. Now, we've seen Dan Campbell. We've seen the guys they bring in. Immediately when you're like, oh, that guy could be a Dan Campbell guy. That's a guy that could fit. He's that. And like you said, you brought up the Justin Jefferson game. That was the first game that I went through and watched. And yeah, he's very physical. He's one of those guys that'll throw back, get up and press. He's also a heavy blitzing corner for an outside corner after moving from slot. So he's just like a guy that makes sense on that side. But to me, when I watched him, and I think where he has some limitations, like, he didn't blow me away to the spot where I was like, oh, yeah, I would absolutely go make this trade and go pay him. I didn't buy into that level. But at the same time, the guys that I thought, you could put comparatively, like, oh, they also played really well this past season, you could probably put them in the same box. They're either really old, like they're pushing 30+, or on the flip side, they're coming off of injuries. And that's the thing that he doesn't necessarily have attached to him. So that's why I think he's still valuable. But I'm with you in the fact of, like, there's guys like Justin Jefferson, there's just not – corners just don't play them one-on-one. So you're right. Safeties stay on top. They give help. It's like playing in Miami, right? I just got done watching Davis White play Miami. It's like you're always going to have a safety on top. You're going to play more cover 2. You're going to bracket that guy in. So you just adjust to that. But to what you said, while he has limitations, like there's certain spots, I don't think he's as flexible as certain corners. But what he also does really well is that, man, he's really good at what he's good at. He's a very good press corner, and he can be very physical at the line. He was successful against Justin Jefferson, really didn't get beat much, maybe 1 or 2 reps in that game. So he fits the Lions. He fits the culture. I would understand it.
And do you see Brad Holmes making a move like that, because we haven't seen him go out and pay for a big name free agent. We haven't seen him go out there and bring in a splash guy, whether it's at the deadline or in free agency. I mean, the biggest ones you could say are probably Cam Sutton and David Montgomery that he's brought in. Can you see him in the cards of the Brad Holmes scheme going out there and getting a guy like L'Jarius Sneed?
Here's why I wouldn't count it out. It's not on the same level as what Jalen was doing with the Jaguars, but to me, it's a similar situation. I'm not saying that Brad Holmes did that, but it's a trade. It's different because it's a tag and trade, so it's not like, how it naturally happened there with all the off-the-field stuff. But similarly, when they made their big splash, it was getting a young cornerback that was playing at a super high level, and it was like, we're just going to go get him because he just stands out from the rest. And I think that's what I see with L'Jarius Sneed. Going through all these top guys, like, there's corners that you like, and they all have different skill sets, but he's unique, and he's at an age, and he's in a spot right now where, the difference is that you would also have to give him that extension. But with them doing it with Jalen, I don't think he's playing at the level Jalen was. I think Jalen was like on a whole nother level. He was 1, 2, 3.
You can put him on an island.
Sneed's that in the league.
Yeah.
Jalen Ramsey was completely different. But L'Jarius Sneed is one of the best in the league from this last season alone. And because now he's shown that flexibility, which is another aspect of Jalen that teams love, like, oh, we just put him in the slot. This is what this guy did, and then he moved to the outside. I wouldn't count it out. If there's a big splash that happens, this feels like the recipe for it to happen for Brad Holmes.
And then Chris had a question real quick too.
Crispy here. I had a quick question. So when it comes to free agency, like you look at last year, the offseason in total with Brad Holmes, how he revamped that safety room, right? Like he went out and got CJ DJ, and he also drafted Brian Branch. I think we're expecting a similar approach for the cornerback room, right? Because I mean, as we talked about, really the only one you can count on long term is Cam Sutton beyond this year. So I expect it to be kind of a combination of draft and free agency. Wouldn't you kind of expect the same thing?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I expect the exact same thing. I'm with you. I don't think anything's done here. I think it sounds like Jerry may not be brought back. That's kind of what it seems like. I hate that, but that's what it sounds like. And getting Mosley back I think it was a good step. I think it was a good step. But to your point, yeah, I still expect both. I mean, that's just, to me, if Jerry doesn't come back, those kind of guys, like, all right, we got to reset this, because he's still, he was like the first year type of deal, but it really wasn't a legit investment yet. We still haven't really drafted a corner yet outside of Brian Branch you brought up. So that's going to happen to me within the first 2 days. There's going to be a drafted corner, and then go sign another cornerback, maybe two, right? Maybe go get one that's one of these young guys that's kind of like on that under the radar list type of thing, and maybe go get one of these like older vets like the Stephon Gilmore, make the big splash trade. But even if they say they made the big deal for L'Jarius Sneed, I still would expect at some point they draft a corner. I don't know that it would happen, with one of their top picks then, but I would still expect it to happen. So yeah, I think they dip in both this year.
Yeah, I'm in agreement too. I think they grab more than just one corner, whether it be. I mean, they're for sure going to sign somebody.
They have to grab more than one corner.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it's like 2 signings and a draft pick.
Yeah.
I really wouldn't be surprised at all. Kyrie,
right.
Is it Jackson, the last name? The guy
that
put me on?
Oregon, yeah.
What's going on with him? What's the draft news with him? Is he rising up boards or?
Man, shoot, I don't even know. Did you like him? Like
I liked him.
You said
I liked him.
You
a
liked
lot,
him?
honestly, yeah. And I don't know if it's just because obviously Gonzo came out of there last year and he looked well with the Patriots before he got hurt, but he's got the length. I think he's got the speed. Like he showed you the athletic traits too. I like him a lot, man.
Yeah, he's impressive for a guy that's that big. 6'3.5" or something. I mean, he's massive, and he's so comfortable in terms of the off coverage stuff. The guy that actually has been connecting with me a little bit recently. I don't know if you guys checked him out. You probably have. Jarvis Brownlee out of Louisville. He's a guy that I've been like hooked on recently, man, because to me, I see the Deshae Townsend, and he's like, oh man, guy's got to tackle. This dude is like This is funny because Eazy was on a show. We did a show with Eazy. I did a show with Eazy recently, and I remember he brought up a guy and he asked if he reminded me of Devin Witherspoon. I was like, no, I don't see that. I'm not saying Jarvis Brownlee is anything like Devin Witherspoon in terms of it's a coverage piece, and he's definitely not that twitchy. But when you talk about like the fieriness of I'm getting into the play, I'm going to hit somebody, I'm going to get involved, Jarvis Brownlee gave me those vibes. A little bit undersized, but he's a big-time press corner, so you talk about those guys that play a lot of man too. He's someone I'm keeping my eye on right now.
In your video, did you just do the free agents, or did you go and look for like possible trade candidates too? Because there's a couple names I want to ask you about, but I don't know if you did the homework on them.
No, I mean I didn't do any trade candidates outside L'Jarius Sneed. That was the only one I brought up.
Are you familiar with Carlton Davis at all? I haven't done homework on himself. It's just a name that I heard that might be the Buccaneers might be like parting with. And I was watching because again I was watching the Jerry Sneed versus Jamar Chase, and the following video was Jamar Chase just talking about the cornerbacks and kind of like giving the biggest troubles. And Carlton Davis was on there, and then I looked up Carlton Davis, and there's an article about he might be a trade candidate for the Buccaneers just because they got to re-sign. Well, obviously they just re-signed Evans, and now they got to re-sign Baker too. But when you get the time, because the trust the work you put in, take a look at that guy for me. I haven't done it yet, but I want to peep him out. Carlton Davis for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, that's a good name, especially because, you know, we saw last year guys like Zion McCollum, and it was like at times those dudes look good. Those dudes look good on the outside. And I can remember, I don't know if it was Carlton Davis or I can't think of who their other cornerback was at the time, but I was like, I kind of like having Zion McCollum out there better for him. So that does make a ton of sense that he could be on the market. I'll check him out though. I haven't watched enough to give you a good take on him.
Dion, do you care if we go to break real quick and come back, or do you got to get going?
No, I'm down. Let's do it.
All
I
right.
want to talk to Crispy a little more.
Shout out.
Let me tell you about Jack Labrador. Football season is officially over and spring training is here, but Jack Labrador is 24/7, 365 days a year. Learn how to play now on your phone at jacklabrador.gg. 2 new symbols and a franchise-changing three-point play. And remember that once you go Jack, you never go back. Go to jacklabrador.gg now and figure out how you can join in on all the fun.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Woodward Sports has a new morning show. Start your day with Wake Up Woodward, Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. live on Woodward Sports. Join Kool-Aid, Flannel Sam, Broder, JB, and KG every morning as they cover all of Detroit sports. Sports talk, banter, and live fan interaction, all on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Appreciate you, Dion, for holding through the break with us. Everybody else, welcome back to Woodward Heavyweights. I'm Eazy, Spimo Rax.
Hello.
Crispy.
Yes, sir.
And Nicholas Kohloff and Dose of Dion. We're kind of talking about free agent cornerbacks and possible trade candidates. Did you peep the guy from Cincinnati at all? Chibidwe?
Chibuya.
Chibuya?
Chidobe Awuzie.
Oh, there you go. Chidobe Awuzie.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. We need another one of those, man. We do need another one of those. What do you have the take on him? Is there?
No, I wanted to get your take on him. I know that he had a couple good years in Cincy, and he seems like the youngest or one of the younger guys out of this free agent group, and I just don't understand why he's not getting more. I guess why he's not getting talked about more.
I'll say this.
Probably because you can't say his name. That would make sense. That's what no one's talking about.
Definitely I can't spell it, and then I put it on there and he can't read it. Look, man, Chidobe Awuzie, like, it worked out so well with Cincinnati too, because I'm pretty sure they got him like a super cheap deal. To your point, that he came in and balled out for him, so it was like a bargain price for him, and he'll probably go up, right? He's one of the top market kind of guys, 28 years old, also good size. What I thought when I watched him, and I wouldn't say I went through like a ton of his games, but when I watched him, the biggest thing to me, it was never like he was a freakish athlete, but he was so balanced. Everything about his coverage was super balanced, top of the route, balanced movement, zone corner. I thought that's where he was really effective. Very good communicator in zone coverage as well. And again, like you talked about, this is what a lot of the NFL is going to. The body control, just very patient, his footwork. So, to me, it wasn't like anything that stood out was like he's super twitchy or his big ball skill type of guy. But instead, he was a very balanced corner, very reliable. And I mean, with his size and with where you all saw him line up, he could actually match up with a guy like Cam Sutton but at the same time, like, he didn't stand out to me as like the perfect pairing for him. I just feel like we have a lot of those aspects in Cam Sutton right now. So for me, I was just kind of looking for something a little bit more dynamic opposite. But Chidobe Awuzie is a real solid corner. I don't think he's a top of the market in terms of how much he's going to get paid, though, because I don't think he has those standout traits from what I've seen.
What about Stephon Gilmore? Do you think he's got anything left in the tank? Do you think he's got another Super Bowl run? I know he's never going to be defensive player of the year level again, but is he still somebody that could be a very effective piece on a Super Bowl caliber team?
Well, let me say this, because I think you were the one that brought up Stephon Gilmore the last time, and I was like, no, I don't want Stephon Gilmore. He don't look the same. And then I had to revisit for this video, and I was like, dang, I was wrong. No, hold up. Stephon Gilmore still got it. I don't know what game I was watching. I don't know if it was like, I think it was like the Green Bay game or something was stuck in my head. I can remember him getting beat. I was like, oh, this dude is just old now. I love Stephon Gilmore, but he's 33. What are we doing? But yeah, Stephon Gilmore still got it. Now, Stephon Gilmore feels like he has it a little bit in a different way. I'm not going to sit here and act like I was like watching Stephon Gilmore like that in like 2019. But we all knew, like, man coverage, he would shut you down, take you out of the game. And what I always loved, he wasn't flashy, right? It wasn't like all the talking and those things. He would just take you out of the game. Stephon Gilmore, to me, right now, what he has is, again, we talk about size, length. He hits all the measurables. I don't see someone like the foot quickness and things like that you would think of from your like typical press corners right now, like in their prime. But what I do see is a guy that, man, like technically, like the savviness, it's all still there. He's so natural and pressed that, like, you go back and watch him against us. He would line up against J-Mo, and it's like, oh, no, he's just matching him right off the line, just running right with him. And he was so pure and things like that. And then, again, sticking to our game, like you're watching him, he jumped 2 out routes in the same game against us. Like the third play of the game, he jumped Josh Reynolds on an out route. And it's just like his ability to identify kind of with his eye balance, read the quarterback from kind of those off-coverage spots. He's so well-rounded. He's a very good tackler in space too. I think athletically he's not at his prime, but in terms of a very smart corner that would be reliable opposite, absolutely he's still got it. And he played like 1,000 snaps this last season with 5 in his tackles. That stat was crazy. That stat's crazy. His stats across the board were great. I mean, 55% completion percentage allowed on the season, 83 passer rating. He was really good this past season. So I think he's limited a little bit athletically, but he's really reliable. He'd be a great starting outside corner.
Hey, I'd be down for it. Again, I think it's a piece you could afford to grab and then still draft somebody, or maybe grab him and somebody else too. And I don't want to keep going to Nick, you have a question too.
He'd be huge for mentoring younger guys too. Like, who would you rather have to mentor, a rookie or a young cornerback, than a guy who's been in Super Bowls, a guy who's won Defensive Player of the Year, who's been at the top of his game for going on 6-7 years now? So
yeah,
I would love that.
Hey, Dion, Nick in the sound booth here. The draft is almost upon us, and we know Brad Holmes likes to go BPA. We saw that with Gibbs and Jack Campbell last year. Besides the top 3 wide receivers being Neighbors, Odunze, and Harrison Jr., do you think Brad Holmes could possibly go for a wide receiver in the first round of this draft, even though it's not the biggest need on this team?
Yeah, to me, that depends on Josh Reynolds. Like, I mean, I think that he still would be open to drafting a receiver if Josh Reynolds does get re-signed. And I think Josh Reynolds does get re-signed, especially if the price doesn't crazy. I mean, it could, right? You just saw Mike Evans get an extension, so the receiver room feels like it's getting pretty light, to the point where I even saw a report that Calvin Ridley is like looked at as the top receiver, which means that to me, Josh Reynolds isn't far off because Calvin Ridley wasn't great last season. So that would be the biggest thing is, like, is Josh Reynolds going to be – if he's brought back, I'd be pretty shocked if he did it round 1. But to your point, I haven't counted it out because – when you look at kind of the best available to that spot, if you're just sitting there, you brought up some of those receiver names. Like, certain receivers to me would be the best available from what I've seen so far. I don't know if you brought up Brian Thomas Jr. within that group, but to me, he's like a guy that was very quick. It's like, okay, he kind of separates himself from the pack. So if a guy like that was sitting there, there's a lot of players that he would be above for me personally. But bringing Josh Reynolds back, I'd be shocked if it happens. If he doesn't, then I would definitely look into it being a possibility. But, yeah, I think if Josh Reynolds back, I don't think it happens.
My recent mock draft. Dropping it later on the show today. It's actually my first. I couldn't sleep last night. I did a 1 through 32. I had Detroit Lions trade up to 23 for Johnny Newton. Just quick reaction to that one before I let you go.
Yeah, no, he was a guy I watched like way back in the process, dude. And I can remember the hype for this player. I think it was against Toledo where he was like going crazy. I'm like, yo, who is this dude? But it was Toledo. I don't dislike it. He's a name that I feel like for me, I kind of like have overlooked it throughout like this time because you just don't expect him to be there. But yeah. I don't dislike that at all. I mean, if I remember correctly, like he's just naturally super low to the ground. Obviously brings all the twitch, all those things off the line too. And I would love to pair someone with Lee McNeil. And what I love about that is specifically the fact that Aleem McNeil to me is getting an extension. Like, the dude absolutely has to get paid. And I think there's no question. So when you guys were talking about like some of those interior defensive linemen that you could pair with him, that's the biggest thing is like, how long do I want to go with that length? Because soon Aleem McNeil's cap's going to start to kind of play into that too. And I don't want two big cap hits to two guys on the interior. So if I was able to draft one and it's 23, the cap hit's not going to be anything. So that'd be amazing. I'm down with it.
And before we do let you go, I did want to talk about one more position, and that is the safety position, because now, we don't know what's going on with Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. He's making cryptic stuff. Quandre Diggs, everybody's like, bring him home, he's ready to go. We only have, two safeties and Will Harris on the roster right now. Like,
I think Will Harris gone too.
Or no, Will Harris gone too?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
We only have two safeties on the roster right now. Do you expect them to sign a guy like a Quandre Diggs or bring back a Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, or do a Brad Holmes late round pick, a 5th, 6th round safety to bring in here? Just a depth piece. I know we already got our starters with Iffy and Kirby, but you still need somebody else back there.
Yeah, that's the key thing, right? Is that you feel like you have your starters, but I think on top of that, you'd probably I want to add somebody that feels like he can fit more of that free safety role a little bit, that I could pair right behind Kirby Joseph. Like, I'd want someone to continue to kind of push that player. But then you also keep in mind, like, Iffy, his extension's going to be up after, his deal's going to be up after this year, so you have to worry about that. Again, that's another spot where I wouldn't be shocked if they hit both. I think, safety's one of those spots where you can get them late in the draft because you're not as much reliant all the time on, like, physical, talent, because I think right now the Lions have that between Kirby Joseph and his crazy wingspan. Iffy Melifonwu is just like a rare breed at safety. So the Lions don't necessarily need that. I would think in free agency, I'm down with bringing CD Deuce back. I love me some CD Deuce, so it'd be awesome. But I think he, for whatever reason, seems like he's got more interest. Like, Philly's going to try to go get that guy back. But then there's also, I think there's some cheaper options out there in free agency that played pretty well this past season to just go kind of get a role piece. I think of like Dean Marlowe, right, early in the process, where it's like not necessarily bringing him in as a starter this time around, but get like a veteran to kind of back those guys up that maybe can play both spots, and then draft someone behind. I think like a Kirby Joseph, for example.
Yeah.
One more too. I just want to squeeze in there because it's later on the prep as well. Christian Wilkins. I don't know if that's going to be in the price range of Brad Holmes, but it is a guy out there. I don't know how I feel about the fit. Where are you at with him as a possible acquisition for the Detroit Lions?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. This is a guy I didn't think was going to be available. I thought there's no way this guy's going to be available, and then when I saw that, I was pretty shocked too. I haven't seen enough of Christian Wilkins, I don't think, to say whether or not I give him the big deal yet. He's one of those guys that I haven't really dove into. I'm just cautious of wanting to give out if you give a Christian Wilkins who had an excellent season, if you give out a guy like that, he's going to get he's probably going to get a 4-year deal. It's going to be a lot of money, and you could set it up different ways, but I'm just cautious of that with Aleem McNeil, because I think Aleem McNeil's, and I could be completely overshooting, I think he's going to get paid a really good amount when he gets extended. So that's where I'm just cautious. I like a lot of the 2-year options. I think a 2-year deal would be great right now in free agency for the interior defense line. Keep the role alive for Broderick Martin to step in, but at the same time, kind of get yourself like a stopgap piece there that could also give you some pass rush upside. So I haven't completely dove into that one, but I am with adding an interior defensive lineman. I just kind of like the shorter deal idea better, but I haven't seen Christian Wilkins enough. I know he's a dog, though. I know that. So, he's a good player.
Dion, man, I think you make some of the best Detroit Lions content there is out there. Please plug your channel, plug your X. Get more active on X, too, by the way. And plug everything you got going on, man. You're killing it.
Dude, so I didn't even realize my dang description. My description's probably been like this for years. I still have it listed as Twitter, man. I'm like, I should probably change that.
Nah.
X ain't my thing, man. I'm so darn, I don't know what the people call it. Like what do you call it now?
I call it Twitter.
So when okay, so when someone makes a tweet, what do we call it? They made a what?
They want to call it a post, but we're still calling them tweets.
We're calling them tweets.
I don't know why he did any of that. Yeah. No, it's a tweet.
Yeah. See, that's why I'm off the bandwagon. We're calling it a post. Like, what are we doing? So, yeah, that's why I haven't been on. Like, that alone is why I'm not on. Yeah, that's crazy. Just those of Dion 2.0, man. Like Eazy said, I'm not on X. Like, I'm on X. So if you tag me and stuff, I see and I look at those, but I don't really post anything because I don't know what to post. So I kind of just I use it for news. Shout out to X for news. I appreciate you, Elon. That is helpful. But that's fair. Outside of that, man, just those Dion 2.0 on YouTube. Appreciate y'all having me too.
Man, I appreciate you coming on. We literally called you live on air.
Shout out
to make it happen, man. So
and thanks for giving Crispy a little handout over there.
Yeah,
he doesn't get a lot of those.
He's having a breakdown.
I just don't have.
Everybody knows Crispy. Everybody knows Crispy, man. The real ones in the chat know Crispy. Chat, let them know.
Appreciate you always,
love you,
brother.
Man. Keep killing it, man.
All right, appreciate you guys, man. Have a good rest of your show.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
Have a good day, man.
Oh, he's on Bleacher Report too. Did he say Bleacher Report?
I don't think so.
That's what I'm saying. Dion, you gotta sell yourself.
That man,
You're too good not to be selling what you're putting out,
He's
man.
so good at what he does. He's so humble. He's such a nice guy. Like, Dion's the man.
Honestly, so good he doesn't have to sell himself.
Yeah.
Just
watch the content and you'll be back.
Yep.
Let me tell you about Big Boy. Seafood Fest is back at Big Boy. Catch it while you can. Dive into their fish and chips, their new Parmesan crusted cod, perfectly fried clam strip platter, or delicious fish sandwich. A Big Boy must try the new mango iced tea, the ultimate complement to their shrimp, popcorn shrimp, shrimp Alfredo, or shrimp stir fry. Every day is a fish fry at Big Boy. And remember, the all-you-can-eat seafood buffet every Friday, all day at Big Boy. Big Boy, go have some shrimp.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Big Boy Seafood Fest is sailing in with a fresh catch of favorites. Dive into fish and chips, our new parm-crusted cod, perfectly fried clam shrimp platter, or a delicious fish sandwich. Try our new mango iced tea, the ultimate complement to our popcorn shrimp, our all-new fried pickles, shrimp Alfredo, or shrimp stir fry. Experience all the sea has to offer every Friday night with our all-you-can-eat seafood buffet. Every day is a fish fry, only at Big Boy.
What up and welcome to Woodward Heavyweights live on WoodwardSports.com. And boy, Eazy, join my guys, more Raxter.
What up, though?
Chris P.
Yes, sir.
Chris P.
The cat owner.
The cat holder. And the technical director.
Owner. I feel like.
No. Over.
And we have Nicholas Kohloff on the ones and twos.
Go.
So, as I mentioned earlier in the show, I wasn't able to sleep last night. I was watching Spinny and stealing his clothes. And, right after I did that, I stole his hoodie he never bought.
I slept like a baby last night.
I know you did. I
had a
watched
dream
it.
that the Vikings cut Justin Jefferson.
Never.
Yeah, I don't know. It was weird. I forget who I told.
I think it's a possibility. They don't pay him, though. It should have happened by now, no?
Yeah.
Hopefully St. Brown gets paid first. That's
Well,
all
they gotta
I'm asking.
they gotta wait till the league new year, right?
No.
No,
we just re-signed Emmanuel Mosley.
Yeah.
You still re-sign with your own team.
Yeah, but I don't think the numbers come out until the league new year.
What do you mean?
Because did Emmanuel Mosley's contract come out yet, or did they just say he's coming back?
To be fair, I don't think it was reported by the team.
The numbers didn't come out yet. No, it was Tom Pelissero.
Yeah, it was Tom Pelissero. No, I think you can still re-sign with your team. You just can't sign with any other teams until what do they call it? The tampering period.
It's in the NBA. It's moratorium. Is that the term they use?
I mean, we saw Mike Evans.
Legal tampering.
We saw Mike Evans do an extension, and the numbers came out. So that's where it's
true.
St. Brown, where you at? Let's get it done.
Yeah, they're still working on the St. Brown one, from what I know. Just little tiny details, and I know that I don't know that it's done, but I have a very strong feeling that it's done. One, I had a couple people message me, but two, he's been really, really happy on his Instagram stories lately. Just the day that I was told it was done, he was like, he posted like a video of him just singing some Eminem, head bopping, super happy. So okay,
in a new Maybach. No,
This is probably just cross the T's, dot the I's on that one. But while I couldn't sleep, and after I was done watching Spinny, I did a 1 through done first round mock draft for the NFL, and I guess I want to get some of you guys' takeaways. We look at other people's mock drafts, and Nick, I know you already had some questions about this one. What was it?
A lot of the hot news coming out of the combine right now is Drake May kind of falling with Jaden Daniels and the talk of J.J. McCarthy. You still got him at number 2 here. Do you believe he's the second best quarterback in this draft?
Yeah, stupid.
I think everyone's hit on Caleb Williams enough. We know he's going 1 to the Bears.
Yeah, I still think Drake May is the quarterback 1. I feel
2.
like. Or quarterback 2, I apologize. Yeah, it's like 1 because everyone knows Caleb's going, but you're right, it's 2. But it's one of those things where I feel like we anoint these prospects for so long, that we just get kind of tired of it and like start to like poke little holes or just try to find something new to talk about. I mean, we're wary of it ourselves. Like sometimes, like fuck, how many more times can I tell you I don't think Jared Goff's elite? You know, you just say a lot of the same shit sometimes. I think that's what it comes down to in the draft process or media part of it. When it comes to Drake May, I still think he's QB 2. I wouldn't be surprised if Jaden Daniels there. I personally like Jaden Daniels better, but from my perspective, I still believe he's held in high regards across the league. Chris,
following up on the quarterbacks while we're on the topic, you have J.J. McCarthy 5 to the Falcons, who's been a team that's been linked to one Justin Fields. Presuming that they take Caleb Williams 1, Justin Fields is probably on the move. So Eazy, where are you at with? Do you think that Justin Fields then goes to a different team, or what do you think is happening there?
So the other team I'm hearing for Justin Fields that I think is still in the market for a quarterback is the Pittsburgh Steelers.
That would make sense.
Exactly, I think it makes sense. I think the Falcons also make sense, but the way this draft worked, I had them trading up to make that move, and I just couldn't see JJ falling to them as either between them or the Vikings. I had to make a trade for somebody. Plus, I think it was the Chargers there originally, and this wasn't anyone there they're like desperate for. And for some reason, bro, I just feel like Brock Bowers is destined to be an LA Charger.
I do too. But also, my question here of this stupid fucking mock draft. you had Quinyon Mitchell going ahead of Terrion Arnold.
Yes.
Quinyon Mitchell at 15, Terrion Arnold at 17. Is that because you think personally he's better, or you think NFL GMs view him as a better prospect, or fit thing? Like, what's going on there?
I think they're pretty close. Like for like the NFL, the way the NFL's looking at him, I think Quinyon Mitchell had a phenomenal combine versus where Terrion Arnold. Like some people were making, I guess, cases where he didn't have the greatest combine. Quinyon Mitchell, he's got the size, he's got the speed to where I feel like he can mold him into almost any system. Where Terrion Arnold, it feels like people just want him in main coverage, and I know that's what the Jacksonville Jaguars are trying to do. It's part of the reason they got rid of Darius Williams. But I think it's kind of, in NFL eyes, I think Terrion Arnold and Quinyon Mitchell are like pretty close, and I think there's a lot of physical attributes that you'd favor in Quinyon Mitchell's favor in the comparison. The speed being number one,
and another one, the man who broke the 40 time.
Yeah.
You don't have him going in the first round, but you have Ladd McConkey going. Fucking white dude.
Yeah.
What kind of racist shit is that? Do you think you think the Chiefs would take McConkey over Worthy?
I feel like Worthy's a little bit of a one-trick pony, but
that's not what he said on his Instagram.
Well, what did he say on his
Instagram? He said,
Instagram?
"Don't let the 40 time fool you. The routes are there too. Watch the tape."
Yeah, no, I mean, I feel like McConkey is like one of those guys where it's a skill thing, and he also ran a pretty solid 40. I believe he was like a 4.4 or 4.49 or something like that. McConkey's route running is fucking filthy.
Yeah, he's got good.
It's disgusting.
Very nice.
And I've been aware of it just through like what we heard through the Senior Bowl, and then also Broder's been really high in him as of late. And so I went and I put on a little bit of the tape.
Is it the Cooper Kupp effect of we're not letting these white receivers go any further down the board?
It is the Cooper Kupp effect. This guy is, I think,
he's got
skill set wise. Yeah, his route running is probably amongst the nicest in the draft, possibly the nicest in the draft. Even listened to an interview with Kamari Lassiter, and he was like, they're asking what receivers give you the most challenge, and he's like, you can't say. They tell him don't say teammates. Everyone wants to give out a shot to their teammates, right? He's like, no, it was my teammate, Ladd McConkey. Fucking, he made me a better cornerback because the cuts he makes is deadly.
Yeah.
So I think him and Pat Mahomes would be crazy, and just for the like root for radio or chaos, like just the reverse in time of a black quarterback throwing a white receiver versus it being always a white quarterback throwing a black receivers. I would just love for that to be the case too.
They already got a white receiver.
Yeah, but a good one.
Hey,
I'm
put
glad
some respect on Justin Watson's name.
Come on.
And also,
there was a ground-shaking cut in the NFL the other day. I don't know if you noticed it, but something that might switch up a lot of people's draft boards,
especially when it comes to that Seahawks pick, is they told Will Dissly they're parting ways with him. Will Disley's no longer Seattle Seahawks. So, do you think that will change? Will the Seahawks have to go tight end in the first round to replace the great one, Will Dissly?
No, I do not think that the Seahawks should go tight end in round one to replace
Should the Lions
Will Dissly.
pick up Will Dissly? I would love that.
No, he costs too much. And we
Yeah,
already
it's
have,
true. He's
we already
making
have
20
our
plus
guys.
million a year.
Easy. I saw you go Penix Jr. to the Seahawks here.
Yeah,
Do you think
yeah.
he will be a successful NFL quarterback? That goes for you too, Svenmo.
Yeah, I think he sneakily could be the second best quarterback in this draft class. I don't know why he's being the second best.
Whoa!
I don't know why he's being slept on. I think it's ideal for him. Like we see with a lot of these quarterbacks that kind of get slept on. Lamar Jackson, Deshaun Watson, but obviously he's not the same. But a lot of these guys like fall in the back half of the draft and end up going to better teams and the better situations. I think he's good enough to, if he's planted in a situation like that, he's gonna ball out. 16, a little too early to be honest with you. I don't know why I did that, but I know that his former offensive coordinator is over there in Washington as well, so I could see like why not bring him home.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm concerned about Penix with his injuries.
The medicals came back; they're clean.
Well, I mean, right now, like he still sustained those injuries already in the past. So, yeah, we'll see. I don't think he's going to be a first round pick, but
yeah, I'm not sure where he's going to fall. I try to do this based off what I think was going to happen, but I do have like a bias when it comes to Michael Penix. I think he's a fucking stud. I don't know why he's being slept on.
He was hella fun to watch this year.
Yeah, he's amazing. I feel like he makes every level of a throw too. One other piece I feel like I may have messed up on or slept on. And I want to call myself out. I probably shouldn't call myself out, but Latu falling all the way down to the 26.
I had this in here along with Wiggins.
Yeah, because he's one of the better.
And Brian Thomas Jr.
Brian Thomas Jr. Where did I have him falling?
29, I think, or 28.
Past the
Guy
Lions.
doesn't even know his own draft.
Past the Lions.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of
too busy staring at me.
That's true.
So the things I'm hearing about Brian Thomas Jr. is that he just runs those go routes, those 9 routes.
Waymo.
Like he's real like north and south versus like being versatile. And where I think he'll probably go earlier is the speed and the size. But again, I'm just trying to go based off what I think the teams will do. I don't think too many guys needed wide receivers versus like who they took in that situation. But Latu guy probably shouldn't have let fall that far because he's a dog.
Latu, left fall.
Yeah, that's fucked me up.
And the big question everybody in the chat is waiting for.
Yes.
The Detroit Lions trade up for Johnny Newton all the way up to number 23. What did you have to give up to make this trade, and what do you think about Johnny Newton in this defense?
I gave up pick 29 and our third-round pick from this year to move up to 23 there. And I feel
would
like,
do that in a heartbeat.
Right? And I feel like it's something Brad would do if there's a prospect perceived as like a top 10 at his position or like a guy that should win a lot earlier. I feel like if he's there in striking distance and it doesn't cost too much, it's affordable, I think that's a move Brad 100% would do. It's a move we've seen Brad make in the past. Some of the reasons he made so many moves last year is like he had a certain amount of guys with first-round grades. And when they were still there, he's like, I have to go and grab this guy. It makes no sense that he's there right now. Johnny Newton, I feel like that's needed for the Detroit Lions. I feel like it's a guy that fit next to Aleem McNeil. And he arguably was the number one defensive line prospect in this draft class. He just said he had foot surgery in January. And so some people I think he's sliding down a little bit. I would love Johnny Newton to be a Detroit Lion.
It's fair. I like it.
Well,
let me tell you about Guardian Alarm. Guardian Alarm offers you customized solutions from real experts. Their professional technicians take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. They also have 24/7 professional monitoring. You can call them anytime, day or night. And no Guardian Alarm team member will stay on the phone as long as needed. And of course, they have technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology has been proven apart, and people who have been proven to care. So call them at 1-800. Stay out. That's 1-800-STAY-OUT. And let them know Woodward Sports.
Call me Chris P.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. How would you like to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome. You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking, and the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
Visit Dispo Dispensary today because March Madness is officially here. Dispo is giving away $1,000 to the best bracket at each location. There's 12 locations, guys. Battle Creek, Romeo, Whitmore Lake, Hazel Park, Bay City North, Bay City South, and Ann Arbor. Go get your Blink brackets now. Fill them out and return them by St. Patty's Day on March 17th to secure your entry. That's your chance at $1,000 at each location. That means, guys, you can hit every location and give yourself multiple opportunities at that $1,000.
$1,000.
$1,000. Dispo
Wow.
Dispensary, DispoShops.com. It's your local cannabis plug.
Cannabis.
Cannabis. What up, though? Welcome back to Woodward Heavyweights. Hit that like button if you guys have already. It means the world to us, and I mean that. I know I said this is part of the spiel coming back, but it does mean a lot. Make sure you guys hit the like button. I'm Eazy, Spinmo Rax, Crispy, Nicholas Kohloff, a.k.a. Unky Nick, a.k.a. Detroit Mario, and now Spinny. I put it in there last minute because we were light on news today, and I feel like we were killing up the spotlights. Although some people they missed the whole show. I guess I gotta start cutting those parts of it and putting it on our YouTube page. Because like people will DM us, or I've been DM'd like, hey, we guys do a spotlight on this guy, and it's like, bro, we did that like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
You just told me you don't watch the show every day.
Yeah.
Do you really support me if you aren't cash apping $40 every Friday?
It's true.
Tell them to
Do you
stop
really
being
support
lazy.
me if you aren't sending your wife's nudes to my phone?
Yeah. Like, do you really support me? No. Deadass though, I did like the spotlights. People obviously like the spotlights. Spinny, I'm gonna let you go first. Actually, no, let's Jack Labrador it up.
Labrador.
Oh, Spinny won.
Labrador beats Jack, boys.
It's the power of the pinky.
Pinky's up. All right, let me go first.
All
let
right,
me
all
get
right.
my mic. Let me get my shine. My spotlight for today is cornerback out of Florida State, Renardo Green. Renardo Green is a 6 foot, 186 pound quarterback. Is what he weighed in and measured to at the combine. He also ran a 4.49 in the 40 with a 1.5 split for 10 yards. He played 651 snaps in 2023 throughout 13 games. He had over 40 tackles, 13 pass breakups, an interception, and only a 75.0 quarterback rating allowed when targeted. This is a big guy. He is a man press coverage corner. He's sticky in man coverage. He stays on the opponent. He has very good feet and very good hips when running down the field, mirrors receivers down the field very well. Does a lot of good things at the line of scrimmage to make some things happen. Like I said, he has a great ability at changing direction. So he can go from one route to another, very good at anticipating and mirroring the receiver's routes. He has great ball skills and closing speed. His hands are impressive. His attacking the ball is impressive. And when he gives a little gap to a receiver, he can close that gap very fast with his closing speed. He's physical and a good tackler in the run game. He is a very willing blitzer and is able to get the quarterback down when he gets in the backfield. Renardo Green, this is a guy that I think he's going to go up some people's draft boards when you look at his tape. He's not going to be a first-round pick. He might not even be a second-round pick, but he is an impressive talent when I look at him at cornerback. He did a lot of great things. You can look at his tape against LSU.
His tape is fucking beautiful.
And going against I can't remember his name, Thomas Jr.
and Neighbors.
And Neighbors.
He gave Neighbors fists.
He put Neighbors in a coffin. Like, this guy is a lockdown cornerback one guy. Like, he was a lockdown cornerback one guy in college. He is a guy you put on an island, you put out there with the opposing wide receiver, and you let him cook. He is a man coverage corner. I like his size. I like his aggressiveness, his physicality in the run game when making tackles. And like I said, he has great hips and great feet when it comes to mirroring receivers and tracking the ball down the field. I think he would be a great pick for a team later in the draft.
I love Renardo Green. I've been high on him for a while. I hope he becomes a Detroit Lion. That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like there's going to be 3 cornerback acquisitions for the Detroit Lions this offseason. One of them's for damn sure going to be a sign and or trade. We will yet to see what happens with Jerry Sneed or Lattimore or maybe even Carlton Davis if you guys want to do some homework on him. But I think Renardo Green is just a guy I want to stash either way, regardless. Even if I go and sign Legarius Sneed, I still want to stash Renardo Green because, like you saw him go against Brian Thomas. You saw him go against Malik Neighbors, and he showed up. And I got to be honest with you guys, I hate when people play the card of like, oh, this school produces like this amount of quarterbacks. Oh, that school never has any quarterbacks. There's no way they have any good quarterbacks out of there. One true thing about Florida State, I'm not even going to say quarterback or like a specific position, but
secondary.
just Yeah, secondary and just pros in general. I feel like Florida State is good at making NFL products. Ronaldo Green, I have a fucking man crush on, for being honest with you. The guy I chose was the guy that Tom Pelissero tweeted out yesterday about a visit because I wanted to be educated on him, was Christian Boyd. Christian Boyd out of Northern Illinois, I believe was the school. Big boy. He's a big boy. 6'4".
Big Boyd.
317 pounds. I went to Northern Iowa. I apologize, said Illinois. He's really violent with his hands. He's got like his set down move. He's patented it. He's got the swipe. He's got the push and pull. He's got multiple moves. He's really strong with his hands. He's quick off the ball and violent off the ball. And he fits that description of piece that I want next to Lee McNeil and alongside Ian Hutchinson. He could play that one tech for you. He's got the size for it. I guess some of the concerns why I think he didn't make it to the Senior Bowl and or the Combine is he's been there for like 5 years. I want to say he's a little bit of a super senior. But I don't think that matters when it comes to like grabbing a guy on your team as a prospect or pro prospect. You're going to get him on a rookie deal. He's going to play right away. Christian Boyd fills that need for me. Every little bit of piece I want out of my defensive tackle, he has it. And the only concern is that he didn't play against like top tier talent. But when he showed up for, I believe it was the Shrine Bowl or whatever it was, he was tossing guys around like left and right, whether it was Wisconsin or no matter like where they were. He manhandled them one-on-one. So I think he's got the talent to be, I'm not saying like superstar by any means, but a piece of this defense that helps you in everything. I think one thing you hear from Dan Campbell and AG throughout the season is like they want guys to play specific roles. They don't want them going outside of that role because it affects everything else. And that's how it kind of is in football. Is you got to play your role, and it just works as a team. That's why I say it's the ultimate team sport. Same works in offense. Defense works that same way. I think you can fill that one tech spot next to Lee McNeil where they have more opportunities to pass rush against one-on-one blocking.
Yeah. That's the piece you like in there. That's when you get a disruptor, an Ida who eats it for lunch in the middle of that defensive line. That is a guy that makes everyone around him better. He makes the defensive lineman next to him better, which in turn makes the secondary better because the quarterback has less time to throw the ball. So him and Broderick Martin, that'd be two refrigerators. You're fucking switching in and out of there.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think he has a little bit of pass rush there too. Like I think he's more than just like eating the blocks. He can make moves and get after a quarterback as well. That's a guy I like a lot. Nikki, did you do you do one?
No, I was cooking up that. I was questioning with the mocks, but I mean, I'm interested in both these guys, honestly. I mean, you guys couldn't have said it any better, so I'm going to try to do some more digging on both of them, but I'll try to get you guys a spotlight for tomorrow.
Spotlight.
Moonlight.
Well, one thing you don't need a spotlight out because it's always shining is Les Stanford. What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. That is exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC, the same great service that customers have come to know and trust on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today and find the brands you want at lesstanford.com.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
We've just received word. The world's cannabis supply has vanished. The public is outraged and has taken to the streets in response to this tragedy. The individual responsible acted alone, and we can only hope they will make things right soon.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
How would you like to win $50,000?
$50,000?
$50,000! It's the Woodward Sports 50K Bracket Buster Challenge, brought to you by Glorious Cannabis, Lady Jane's Haircut for Men, and Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza. Register for your chance to win at any Lady Jane's or Soroki's location, or just scan the QR code right next to me. The shot clock is ticking. Register today at WoodwardSportsBracket.com. That's WoodwardSportsBracket.com, and you could be $50,000 richer.
$50,000?
Welcome back.
That's more than 40.
So is it what the heavyweights? Is it that there's spin more rocks? We have a crispy. We have the world renowned, the mustache bound, 116 pounds, Nicholas Kohloff.
The stash is back, baby. We're going around the league, and this time we are upcoming on MLB's baseball.
What?
Let's go.
Yeah.
All right, we got
Coming.
baseball. We got baseball coming up, and we all know the Detroit Tigers are trying to get to that next level. Spenny's getting muted here. Spenny is currently muted right now.
Go ahead, mute him.
No. All right, no, I'm just playing. All
Don't
right, let's
distract
go.
you.
So I cooked up some of the odds around
You
the
can do
league
this.
that have to do with the Detroit Tigers making the playoffs. A little bit of win totals, a little bit of Tariq Skubal love for some Cy Young stuff, and a little bit of some rookie love because you know we got some young guys on this team. So here we go, Chris. We're gonna start out with
yeah, young guys.
Tariq. Oh, Jesus. Tariq Skubal. Right here, Chris. You can throw it up. The AL Cy Young.
Oh, God damn it, Crispy.
Over under 160 and a half strikeouts. We'll move to the Cy Young after this one, but just off rip, this number seems low for an ace in Tariq Skubal. Spenmo, where you putting your money for Tariq Skubal strikeouts?
I mean, it's even money both ways. It's minus 113 either way. I mean, I would like to go over because if he stays healthy and pitches 30-plus games, he's going to hit that number. Like, I don't think there's a question that he's going to get that number if he stays healthy and pitches the amount of games that he's supposed to. So I would say over.
Easy, big baseball guy.
Big baseball guy. I like Scoobs. I'm going to go over. I think he's not a guy that he doesn't throw for power. He's more technician, if I'm not mistaken, right? Am I right there?
Oh, he throws for power, and he's got a.
He's hit 99.
Yeah,
he's throwing heat, hell of a changeup, and a hell of a breaking ball.
His velocity's up, man.
Best player on this team.
Give me the over then, for sure.
Chris.
Best player on this team.
Oh, by far, he's the best player on this team.
Well,
Who's better? Whoa.
See what happens when Torch hitting 40 dongs this year.
We'll see what happens when Javi Baez.
Chris, how do you take on the over-under 160 and a half?
Under. This guy stinks. I know a lot about him.
All right. So speaking of this guy who stinks, the odds makers do not agree with you. Tariq Skubal, I believe, is
fifth.
He is fifth on the AL Cy Young on the voting here. He is with the guys of Garrett Cole, Kevin Guzman, Pablo Lopez, Corbin Burns, and to close it out, Luis Castillo under him in odds.
Does it bring a tear to your eye to see a Tiger that high up there on the Cy Young list?
1,200 with the likes of Cole, Guzman, Corbin Burns, Castillo. I'm not too familiar with Pablo Lopez, but Skubal here at plus 1,200. I'm not going to lie, fellas. Value
play for sure.
I love this value, and we just talked about it on the last segment. Over 160 and a half strikeouts. If this guy gets 180 innings, he's chalking up 220 strikeouts. So the numbers are going to be there at least 220 if he cooks up 180. I believe Tariq Skubal is the ace of this team. If he can pick up the wins, if we can play winning baseball, I think that's a big number for the AL Cy Young at plus 1,200 before the season. I love this number. Spenmo, where are you at with it?
It's a great value. It's a great value. He's definitely, he's got to be a top 5 guy in that situation. When you look at the arms in the AL, there's not the elite amount of arms that used to be. There's not the 10 guys that you look at as Cy Young candidates when you come into the season. So, Tariq definitely has a good situation going for him, and he could for sure be in that. But if I'm putting money on anybody, it would be Corbin Burns. I think the O's are going to the World Series this year. I think they have one of the best teams in the league, and I think he's gonna get. I think he might lead the league in wins. Honestly,
does it scare you at all that he's gonna have to go up against the Yankees lineup?
No,
like multiple times a season, and the Jays, who both have great hitters.
Especially with how they changed the breakdowns now to where you're not playing your division as much as you used to in the past. So he's not going to be seeing the Yankees or the Blue Jays or these other teams like 40 times like he used to. So I'm not mad about it. I'm not worried about it. I think he's on the best team in the American League. I think he's the best pitcher on the best team in the American League. And if I would put money on one of them to win, it would be him. But Skubal's up there. That's great value.
Definitely great value there. And just a little heads up for everybody, Garrett Cole won it last year with a 2.63 ERA. Scuba was at a 2.8.
East is kind of weak for pitching, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was a little surprised with some of those numbers, but so he was hanging with that. Talking about some of these numbers here and big expectations, these rookies have massive expectations for these Detroit Tigers. We saw what guys like Spencer Torkelson have done, a guy like Riley Green have done. They kind of struggled at the beginning of their career. We can't afford that for guys like Colt Keith, a guy like Parker Meadows. He's still considered a rookie with his eligibility. Chris, let's see these odds here. We got Colt Keith, the Detroit Tigers he's presumed to be the Tigers starting second baseman coming out of camp. And then at the bottom there, Parker Meadows, plus 2,000. So we got Keith at 4 and Parker Meadows down there. Does any of this stand out to you, Spenmo, before I break some of these prospects down?
I like Colt Keith at 1,000. Obviously, Wyatt Langford just ahead of him. That's a guy that I know you love, and that's a guy who's definitely going to push for that award. But it depends where Colt Keith hits in this lineup, to be honest. If he's in the top half of it, I would feel pretty comfortable with him winning that award. But if he's back there and he's got Javier Baez in front of him or behind him, he's not going to be getting a lot of RBI opportunities or not going to be driven in a lot when he gets on base. So it's going to be tough, and I feel bad for anybody that has to hit in front of or behind Javier Baez, because you're just going to get either walked or attacked because they know they have an easy out waiting for them either way when Javi comes up to the dish. So we'll see where he falls in the order, but he's plus 1,000. I don't mind that at all. I think he's ready for the bigs, and I think he's going to show it this year.
Do you have any expectations for Parker Meadows before I take a deep dive?
Again, I don't know where this guy's going to hit. If he's hitting in the one spot, if he's hitting in the one spot, I like it because he can get on base, and obviously he's the fastest guy on the team. So having guys behind you that can drive you in is definitely going to help a lot. If he's hitting in the one spot, he'll score a lot of runs this year. So that is definitely something that could be there. But between the two on the team, it'd be Colt Keith who gets the nod, I think, over Parker Meadows.
Yeah, 100% there. I need to see a guy like maybe Mark Hanna or something in front of him in this lineup so he can get on base, and maybe a guy like Urshela behind him so he can actually hit him in, because we know Urshela has good average. But
if he's in the 6 hole or the 5 hole, and then you put Urshela behind him and then Javier Baez, I would love that. But
all right, hey Chris, put the odds up real quick for 1 second. So the guys that are in front of Colt Keith in this Rookie of the Year odds for the AL are guys like Jackson Holliday, a guy like Evan Carter, and a guy like Wyatt Langford. The thing that those guys all have in common, they're top 6 prospects in baseball. These are top 6 prospects, which means they are expected to be future superstars in the MLB, for sure all-stars. A guy like Colt Keith, I believe, is in the 20s, so the expectations aren't as high. But for the Detroit Tigers to reach where they want to go this season, Colt Keith has to come out hot, unlike the guys like Spencer Torkelson and Riley Green have not. And speaking of this team getting to where they want to go, Chris, show us the odds for the AL Central and the Detroit Tigers. So we are currently third at plus 370.
You guys said they were the favorites.
Behind the Cleveland Guardians and the Minnesota Twins at minus 125. The Tigers are plus 370.
See, maybe Tigers fans sound like they're the favorites.
Does anybody see value? Spenmo looking at the odds saying they're the favorites. Does anybody see any value in the Tigers plus 370, or are you still thinking they're a year behind? Maybe they should have spent more in the offseason for some proven talent compared to depending on a lot of these young guys in pitching like Matt Manning, Casey Mize, Reese Olson.
They should have spent
guys
more.
hitting like Spenmo Torkelson, and guys like Riley Green, Parker Meadows. I mean, where are you guys at with the Tigers?
I mean, if you're going to choose that or their over-under, you would take them winning because you're getting plus money on that. And if they hit their over on the season, which was what, I think it was 78, or what is their over-under?
79 and a half.
79 and a half, yeah. If you're going to take the over on them winning games, you might as well take them to win the division. Because if you're going over 80 wins, then they're going to be first in this division. So I like it at plus 370. I think they're better than the Guardians. I don't know why the Guardians are higher than us on that list. The Guardians don't really have that many pieces that you look at and you're scared of.
They got that one guy.
And the Twins are not better than they were last year, and the Twins barely clawed it out last year. So if the Tigers stay healthy, they're the best team in the division.
You think they will score enough runs? I think their pitching will be good with Chris Fetter and some of the new guys like Flaherty and Maeda. But those are like C-list free agents. Yeah, but they're not like top-of-the-line guys.
Their pitching was already the best in the division last year. And that was with guys in and out. I think they have the best bullpen in the division, and I think they have the best starting rotation in the division. And adding guys like Canna and Urshela that get on base, that is going to be huge. Those guys get on base. Those guys get hits. So that is going to be huge to them scoring more runs this year.
Like I said about Terry Skubal, I do like the value there because I think it's going to be a tight race all the way down to September. So I do like sprinkling a little bit of cash right there on the Tigers. I probably will before the season.
That's crazy. The Twins are like literally like minus money.
Yeah. I think it's because
they have the most star power, and they won it last year.
Who's got the best offense in the division?
Twins.
We got really good pitching.
We have the best pitching in the division by far.
Yeah.
With some question marks, though. We don't know how Flaherty's going to bounce back. Can Maeda still hold up at that age?
I feel extremely comfortable
Can Casey
in Flaherty.
Mize bounce back? How many innings are you going to get from Skubal? Matt Manning has been hurt in the past. There are question marks everywhere you look on this team.
Flaherty and Maeda are going to be Flaherty and Maeda, especially with Chris Fetter, pulling the strings behind those guys. I'm not worried about that.
And that was around the AL Central with
Flaherty,
the stash.
Maeda, you fucking turd.
Let me tell you about Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness is the home of the judgment-free zone. Good job, Nick. Where anyone, and we mean anyone, can work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, a full-body workout in just 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all this for just $10 a month, no commitment. No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness close by, more than 15 Metro Detroit, and thousands more throughout the world. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
The most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Every year, after a cold and dreary winter, Metro Detroiters come together for two things: Tigers baseball and the best damned party in the world. A new season of Tigers baseball is here, and we're bringing in the new season as only Woodward Sports knows how. Broadcasting live from the biggest party. It's the Grand Slam Festival at the Detroit Opera House. Come party with 4,000 Detroit sports fans, starting with Wake Up Woodward and rolling into Big D Energy. This is a party you don't want to miss, with Detroit's best DJs, food trucks, and of course, shots. Get your tickets now at GrandSlamFest.com. 21 plus. See you April 5th at the Grand Slam Fest.
The new Glorious Ice Water Bubble Hat pre-roll now has diamonds. Now diamonds, constantly pushing to create the best Canna experience. The perfect boost comes from the added touch of pure THC diamond dust, allowing flower with only the highest terps, making the best better. Glorious Cannabis, check out your local retailer or visit gloriouscanna.com.
Smash that like button, smash that like button, smash that like button, smash that like button. If we hit if we hit 90 likes before it hits 7 p.m. on my computer, Spencer,
no,
we'll do
Fuck!
We'll do a
Dude,
Kanye
you're on a cold streak.
We'll do a Kanye Jay-Z style freestyle.
I gotta move the trash can a little bit.
It's overflowing. It's not gonna.
Uh-oh.
That was gonna.
Yeah, but it
chance
also
it,
did miss.
Shut up,
straight
Chris.
Smash that like button.
I'm just hating.
Please.
You are hating.
Plus.
I know a lot about this guy. He sucks.
Dude, he has the smallest shoulders in the MLB.
Mailbag!
All right, I got a mailbag for you
Here's
guys.
the mail that makes you wanna wag your tail. When I'm
Power rank the hitting in the AL Central, teams wise.
Power ranking the AL Central.
Like the hitting, offense.
The offense.
Number one's Twins.
Number one's the Twins. Yeah.
That's why they're
number 2. Let's go Tigers.
Get out of here.
Go Tigers.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
All right, you save your list. I'm writing his down. Tigers number 2.
Let's go Tigers.
Really? Okay. All right. Number 3.
Twins probably. Or I mean, Twins again. No.
I know them. They suck.
Probably the Guardians.
Nick, I want you to call him out. He's being a homer now. Number 4.
I mean, honestly, it doesn't really matter. I'll go.
I say Sox.
Indians?
No, I'm going Royals because of Bobby Witt.
Sox number 5. Nick?
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, this just looking at this, these teams are so
They're
bad.
so bad.
These teams are ass. That's why I thought we should have spent money, because if you get a guy, I mean, we are depending so heavily on Parker Meadows to be a guy for this team.
Yeah.
What if he can't hit? He was like our number 16 prospect before we called him up.
Yeah.
He had a great back end, he showed promise. But we've seen these guys come up and be absolutely bust. Is it something that I wouldn't have signed a Cody Bellinger and put him out in center? Imagine an outfield of Cody Bellinger, Riley Green, and Mark Canha. Instead, you're depending on a guy in Parker Meadows who has never been able to show it for a full season. I'm not saying he won't. I'm just saying I don't think that's good business when its division is this brutal. And if you could pay for a former all-star type guy, I would have done it, honestly. But I'm going Twins, Tigers, Royals, Guardians, and then White Sox. I think the White Sox are going to bottom out.
Yeah, the White Sox suck, dude. White Sox, all they got is
their pitching's brutal, too.
Luis Robert. That's all they got.
Yeah, I mean, they gave up on Jose Abreu. He's now on the Astros.
Tim Anderson isn't even on the team anymore, even though he's trash.
Yeah, honestly, I'm fired up for baseball to be coming back. I know
Easy's
you
really
love
fired up.
baseball.
I cannot wait for
We're
baseball.
We're going to get you to, you're going to love it.
Dude. No, honestly, though, they got nice pitching. So, I mean, there's that.
I mean, hopefully Torque can start out hot. He sucked in March and April last year. So this team needs to start way better, or this year's going to be just like the past 4. We are not going to be able – this team's not good enough to get red hot where they're winning 24 games in a month.
Yeah,
I just don't see that. They cannot start
They can't
slow.
start out like they have the past couple of years. They need to have a good start.
Mailbag!
Which they should, because I'm pretty sure their first series is against the White Sox.
Yeah, my parents are going to be there in Chicago, which I'm jealous about. And then I won't be at the fucking opening day. Yeah, I'm salty.
Opening day.
Yeah. You guys better be getting loud.
Who they playing opening day?
I don't know. But
I'm probably not going to watch
Athletics.
I'm not going to watch
Oh,
a
we're
pitch.
fucked.
The A's.
The A's?
We're cooked. Why would they
What?
do that?
Everyone chill, dude. Boys, come on. We want to see a win.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying they're cooked. It's not going to happen.
I mean,
Yeah.
the A's aren't like great.
Everyone
Hopefully,
chill.
Scooble.
Dude, what?
Hopefully, Scooble starts against the White Sox game 1, and then game 1 at home. That'd be awesome.
That'd be nice.
My favorite, I did listen to his interview that he had when he was announced the ace. He's like, I'm not an ace. I'm Scoobs. I'm Tariq Scoobs.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Tariq School was a cool guy.
Yeah, he's a cool dude. Mailbag. Eduardo O'Neill says, would you rather the Lions bring in a true man corner and run a man zone split with Sutton, or bring in a zone corner and fully commit to being zone? I want the man zone split just because I don't know if AG knows how to operate with zones. Clearly fucking something that bothers the shit out of him. And they've been yet to get that secondary down. I'd rather do the man zone split.
Man zone split for sure. For sure. I don't like running all zone. I don't like that.
What?
I don't like it.
Huh?
I don't like it.
Yeah.
Next up, Steve O'Baby, mailbag. Spencer, would you rather have Joe Dumars back since Tom is doing a shitty job? I mean,
yes, he won a championship.
Yeah, it'd be better than what we have
What's
now.
going on right now is awful.
Eazy hates Joe Dumars.
I wish I could have Troy's drafting
with Joe's trading.
Joe's got some bad
and
ones, though,
somebody else to do free agency, because neither of them should do free agency.
Yeah, it sounds like we just need a good GM.
Yeah, fuck. Damn.
No. But that's my question though.
Yeah.
God.
Not to go too far off a tangent, but Troy Weaver was a highly regarded prospect as far as GM goes. So do you think it's like, is it really making a difference?
I think it's the guy making the decisions to bring these people in sucks.
Exactly.
And
that's
Tom
what
Gores.
I'm getting at.
Tom Gores hired a bad GM. He hired a bad coach. At some point, it's on you, Ugly. Like,
or has he hired sometimes decent prospects and then just got in the way of letting them.
Yeah, I mean that also doesn't help.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it.
Somebody
mailbag, mail the fucking bag.
Mailbag question for the chat. Have you guys hit the like button yet?
Spencer and Eazy mailbag. Would you give up Jared Goff for Caleb Williams? Hypothetical. Yes.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Man.
Yes.
313 Let's Eat Lions is who put that in. But yeah, I would. And I think 32 GMs in the NFL would as well.
Yeah, probably would. Just because the contract's coming up, you know?
And he's more talented, arm talent wise.
I mean, if you put up, I do think there is some questions about Caleb Williams, and I think it's beyond like just the field. I think it's like the.
Can he be a leader?
Yeah, that type of shit.
Does he like cats?
Does he like cats?
Does he own a cat?
Actually, he has a dog. He passed that test.
He has a dog.
Yes, he's not in the.
I have a dog and a cat.
You don't have a dog.
Your
Yes,
parents.
I just
bought
don't
you
love
that
the dog,
and then you got the cat yourself.
His dog's a beard.
The dog was already there. Yeah.
No, the dog was definitely was. I went with my family to I went with my family to pick the dog, and and I just don't love it.
But was this because you grabbed the cat by yourself? I know
WTF?
that.
No,
Fuck no.
my mother.
How dare you? Caleb's
Okay.
over it. You guys are like drunk, man.
Wait. What? What's
I
going on?
understand you
said
love
that?
Jared Goff, but like, it's
Read
not
it.
blasphemy to say that you trade Jared Goff for Caleb Williams. I don't
Someone
think
say
it's
that. You
crazy.
just make that up. I don't see it.
No, Denver Blair.
They just making up comments. You fat bitch. He's like insulting himself.
Yeah, we gotta make sure.
You ugly bitch.
Michael Jordan. Well, that'll do it for us today. Appreciate you all tapping into the Woodward Heavyweights live on Woodward Sports. Make sure you smash that like button and share. For Eazy, for Nick, for Chris P. I'm Spencer. We're the Heavyweights.
Red Wings, big game.
Red Wings, big game.
How do they look without Lark?
Big game, Red Wings without Larkin. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.